Hola! ¿Cómo está?
Edit that off. The bullshit.
Definitely one of my favorite characters for
So,
Hunter x Hunter.
How was your week?
Alaka's a beast. It's
Grateful Ninja.
Fucked up the whole shit with her and the because it's like living inside of her, I guess, or like part of her almost.
It's basically
Demon possession.
Pretty much. Because it kind of just pops out. But like,
I bet you could basically say like they're like twins or whatever in a sense.
All I know is it's from, they've teased that it's possibly something from the Dark Continent, which is what they're getting into now in the story. Like when he picked the manga back up, and so now they're going into the whole Dark Continent thing. Because they said the Chimera ants came from there too, I think.
Yeah. So is the Dark Continent the other continent in Fairy Tail they don't talk about?
There's a lot of continents in Fairy Tail they don't talk about. They're in like one fucking little piece of it. They're like in Ireland. They met people from fucking, I don't know, Britain. And they were like, oh, fucking big drawn out fight. It's like, nigga, what about the rest of the world?
Word.
Crazy.
Yo, the Chimera arc was the shit.
It's one of the best arcs that people talk about.
The Return of Self.
Pretty much. Pretty much a straight rip from Self. It's like not even a question.
Oh, I've seen some more.
Oh my god, they brought it back. Someone did that for Inktober like a year ago. That shit is hilarious. Oh my god, it's gone sitting on the street looking down at the gutter, and Hisoka's in the fucking gutter looking up at him like.
You saw how
everything floats down here, including my bungee cone.
You remember how Hisoka was looking at Killua and Gon on Greed Island? They had to switch places. Remember they told him to walk in front? He was giving him that look. Like,
I don't fucking. He's so fucking weird. He's so weird.
I like that.
I need to read more. What's his name to understand why he's like that? Because Jared told us some stuff about Hisoka that I'm like.
I told you that.
No, you're one and the same now.
Jared definitely told us that because he was like, "Oh, what's his name was like raping him or whatever."
Yeah, that was me to you when you were sitting in there. We were talking about the poster.
In there to both of us.
No, because I know who told that to Jeremy because he doesn't read the manga or anything like that, and he barely even
to both of us.
No, it wasn't.
That's why you need receipts.
He never ever wants to give me props or anything like that, and it's just like,
we doing this already? We doing this already?
He was in
this
there,
going
and I told him that
last night, saying some shit like every single argument we've ever had, I won. I'm like, whoa. He sound like one of them old men in freaking Cowboy Bebop. Like, if it wasn't for me and my 3 friends, we wouldn't be here right now. We dug that space portal. Like, nigga, we was there too. We dug the same damn hole you did.
See, this is the same type of motherfucker who will argue with someone, be wrong, and try to switch up the whole conversation, and they would forget of what he had said or what someone had told him.
I helped and then once
arguments,
if anything. I do
what
because
does
that
what does that mean?
That helps literally expose the cracks in my argument, which I can then fill with more logic and making my argument stronger.
See, I thought he was going to say fill with more lies.
Lies with more lies, to which means he had lost that argument because he just proved what I have said or what other people had said, because you've done it before, was correct.
Like the
which would mean you just lost, and I showed you the fact that what I was talking about.
You didn't even, because you didn't show me anything. You didn't send it to me. You just started talking, and then I was like, "Oh, let me see." And you're like, "Oh, I can't find it." And then you start talking again. Oh yeah, this is definitely it. I'm like,
I literally showed you, and I said, "Well, this would only have the one paragraph of it." Then I showed you one
on
BuzzFeed.
Gal Gadot. BuzzFeed? They're fucking idiots. I searched Gal Gadot controversy.
He'll send mad
I searched
shit.
Gal Gadot controversy.
No, you searched Gal Gadot
cult. I did. And then after that, I searched Gal Gadot controversies. A buttload of shit came up about her, which means that she has not scrubbed her internet shit, but the cult shit did not show up. Nothing about that cult that was from Where was it? I think they said the cult was in
chick
Albany.
from Smallville who was like
remember you remember. Yeah, Lil Deb, we coming for that. We got Black Lil Debbie down. What you gonna do? That was dope. But yeah, no.
Was that supposed to be
nothing came up. And that's how Google works. It searches articles for keywords.
Coming for Lil Debbie snacks next.
So no Gal Gadot and no cult or controversy or anything like that came up with respect to
that is a gorgeous woman right
there. That is. She's got freckles. She's interesting.
She's like a starburst.
A starburst.
Like a Rory.
Wow.
I'm stuck on the starburst thing.
In any case, I don't know why you keep trying to back up white people, even though you talk mad shit about white people all the damn time.
Who you talking about, me?
Yeah.
First of all,
because I was the first one to tell you that. The funny
thing is, one of the things I was looking up about her was, is she even white? I was like, does Wonder Woman count as a person of color? I'm like, she's Israeli, so I'm like,
wait. Were they asking about Gal Gadot or Wonder Woman?
They were asking, obviously. I mean, Wonder Woman is technically white because she's Greek. But, like, Israeli is something altogether different. That is, like, almost Middle Eastern, basically, is it not? But they're still, like, white, kind of. They're, like, the light-skinned ones, I guess. I don't know.
So, wait, you're saying they're light-skinned white people?
They're the Israelis. They're light-skinned, like, Middle Eastern people.
Because you said white, then you said they're like the light skinned ones, so I'm just trying to piece it together.
So kind of like how
the Joe was trying to wake up and laughing.
Kind of like how the Japanese are like they're like the white people of Asia because they take over shit all the time. But not like that because the Israeli didn't.
You talking about me trying to start stuff? Now we've damn sure gonna get bombed.
I mean, bruh.
You know what's gonna happen? All our technology gonna stop working. Level. You know what's gonna happen?
Of world agitation. We got people
I don't go for world agitation.
The computer gonna mysteriously stop working.
You have an entire continent coming after us.
How do I have an entire continent coming after us?
Africa.
First of all, I talk greatness about Africa. And you the one that said they all stupid.
You accidentally said continent or country one time though. Continent. You caught it before it hit the ground, but people are still gonna be like, that baby's still not gonna trust you. That baby's still gonna cry when you try to hold it. I remember what you did. Where?
But you still said they all stupid.
Where? Bitch,
so the only one who's gonna come after us from that? I have the video.
I did not say they were stupid.
Yes, you did.
You were saying they were the smartest, and I said,
They are.
The smartest?
Yes.
Their schemes would be a little bit better if they were smarter.
Wow. I'm just going to deny the
motherland. I will say that certain places in Africa do bear smarter people, but
smartest people in the world.
I will say that, yeah. But certain ones are known for more, like, remember in Atlanta, they say he's like, I don't trust no Nigerian.
It's the bell curve, like, and they're the smartest.
He's like, wait, you a Nigerian? He's like, yeah. I know I can't trust you.
Yeah, we gotta sit him down, tape him to the chair, make him watch Atlanta. Gotta watch all that goodness.
Make him watch a bunch of other stuff. He was watching Running Man with me the other day.
How you like the Commander?
When I tell you this nigga, they wait so long to take him out. He's the biggest person there. That's like if in a room full of the three of us, if there was a tag situation, who do you get out first? The motherfucker who can pick everyone up and throw them out the window at the same time. You take him out first. Then it's even. Because until you take him out, it's not even. He's going to win.
That reminds me of...
Because if it's him and another person, he's going to win.
Reminds me of wrestling when they do Royal Rumbles. They always try to go after the big dude. Like, they'll have, like, Big Show come out. And then Big Show would just stand there. And everybody fighting amongst themselves. And everyone to stop. Look at Big Show. Big Show would just toss them like, yeah, y'all keep playing with yourselves. I'm going to just sit over here and just chill. Like and then Mercury come out, then they get real.
Yeah, like that Black Panther scene where he's just like all the people on top. He's like,
yeah, that's basically what happens when they go after the big guy. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
You gotta wear him down first, but you don't charge him when he's fresh.
The dumb thing is there's always a point where that happens. Because I was watching it with Winter Soldier.
Yeah, everyone stops and just looks at the big dude like, let's get him. Yeah. Like, that's a bad idea.
His family's big with wrestling, and we were watching one It was the Royal Rumble that happened in There was one that happened in Saudi Arabia last year, I think.
Yeah, I think that was like the first one.
They should bring that back.
Was it last year?
That was like
or
the
year
first
before?
like 30 something level. What did you say?
I was saying like Raid Rumble. I missed that game. They should bring that back.
Ready to Rumble.
There's a lot of good games that they should bring. Actually,
that was for a lot of people. That was like everyone's favorite boxing game.
Yeah.
Because it was like it was base boxing, but it was really flashy, so it drew in both crowds: people who like the flashy stuff and people who like the base boxing. But a lot of the newer boxing games are more technical, which are nice for people who like the sport, but people who just want to play a boxing game is kind of eh.
Do you know
for me, like the worst person for me, like going against in that game was fucking Damon Black.
Damon Black.
Yeah, it was like
Trying to remember.
He was like the blackest dude on literally the blackest dude.
Midnight.
You know what? Let me.
What were you gonna say, Ungrateful?
Who do you know who makes that?
That I do not know. I know they had either they ported it or they made a newer one after the Dreamcast, because originally I think on the Dreamcast, and I know they either made a new one or they ported it to something else. I just don't remember what, because that was a while ago. My memory is crap, so trying to remember stuff from that long ago is not really working.
Before I get into that bit of internet or Capcom news or whatever, who's here?
I'm letting you know. I'm just gonna leave in probably like 30 minutes.
Why is that?
Because One Piece Stampede is the movie that's out.
Yeah,
I don't think it's here yet though.
It is.
I didn't think it was.
And
I remember.
it's only gonna be at Touchdown, and it's today at 12:30. Then all the other times I'm either at work or I'm just gonna have to wind up skipping trivia, which I might.
Is that hair or horns?
Hair, I want to say.
I didn't know Stampede was already here because they announced it not too long ago for Japan, and they didn't even have a release date for Japan.
So what time is it?
It's 12:30 for today, 7:30 on Tuesday and Wednesday. So just skip Monday.
I'm surprised that they have it on Saturdays. Normally they only have it during the week. Like normally they'll have to do like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
So you actually gonna leave?
No.
I was about to say.
Like, supposed to tell me ahead of time.
Why the fuck would they? Why would they?
Well, that's I think it might be on the Japanese side of things.
Yeah, no, I mean it always definitely is.
But it is always like that. Like literally, in my experience, for every like 5 Japanese movies, every 5, one of those 5 will be on a Saturday, and then all the other movies it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Wednesday. It's always like that. Sometimes Friday, but usually is Monday through Thursday. That's what happened with Digimon Tri, because 2 Digimon Tri movies came to America.
Yeah,
missed them both because I was trying to watch them. I saw Fate because I went with Brendan. If you remember Brendan from school. So,
I tried to go to that one, but the first show that they had for that, the projector didn't work. So they had to give everybody the little free tickets.
That happened.
They're just like, that's mine.
That happened.
When, you did? Nice.
Me and Eric, we went to go see his sex robot propaganda movie, Battle Sister Alita, and he wanted to
Battle Sister
something like that. I don't know. Anyways, I think he wanted to see the IMAX one, and the film had like got ruined or something, so we had to see the non IMAX one or something like that. He was all sad.
Wait,
sex
so
robot propaganda.
did they give the money back for that?
Well, they just put us in the next showing.
Was it? But it wasn't IMAX.
I think they gave us the 3D one.
IMAX isn't as much as 3D, is it? I'm trying to figure out if they gypped you.
I don't know. Because it was something like I think because the one we were going to see was going to be digital and it got corrupted, so they put us in another one.
I think IMAX is the more expensive one.
Yeah, so you got gypped.
So maybe it was the other way around. I don't remember. He paid for it, so I ain't worried about it.
Oh, that's
wasn't my money.
Wait. So you telling me that Eric paid for you to be on to come with him so that he wouldn't be there alone?
Sex robot propaganda.
So he want to be the one sitting there like, yeah, woo. That's like that guy.
Also, I think he's read the manga and watched the anime and stuff, so he knows about it.
It's an old ass show.
Yeah, so I was asking him questions about it because I have obviously robot people fight yada yada yada.
Yeah.
I know that, but beyond that, I have no idea what's going on. So I was asking him questions about the stories and stuff, and he was saying that they basically combine like 2 or 3 arcs to make the movie.
I know it's one of those shows that I guess it wasn't big here, as big as like because anime wasn't big here then. But it's inspired a lot of shit that like people do know. Mm-hmm.
Like Gal Gaigar, your favorite mecha anime.
Fucking stupid ass opener. But yeah, who's here?
Demonic Ed Hard, I'll go first since nobody wanted to answer immediately, you know?
AKA Shadow Man.
Shadow Mane.
CJ is literally like the only person that actually calls me that.
We got me, Obscura.
Me and Grateful Ninja.
Waffle Man.
Waffles are great.
He's talking about his complexion.
I can't remember what the bullshit. Not used to hearing somebody else say that.
Well, see, that's because he used to tell me Tim Hortons stories.
Oh my god. Tim Hortons been fucking up.
Yeah, was it you or Javi who said y'all was at work and someone wanted like a bagel or something? And it was like, how dark? And it was like, yo color. Was that you or Javi?
Oh, both.
See?
Oh, shit.
White people are crazy.
Still, the weirdest one for me is the fact that this dude, I asked him, you want to toast it? He said, I want it on fire. And I was highly confused about what the hell
what
he
does
meant.
that mean? You want it burnt?
Yeah. He literally said because how he wants it, it will catch fire in the toaster.
Ah, okay. Did you just said burnt then?
You just hold the lighter up to the toast?
No, because you have like the little toaster thing has like hot elements in there, so if you even get like this close to it, the gloves and everything are melting for how hot it is. So like one time through, which is like 15 seconds, it's nice and toasted for like the get go. But with him, he wants you to put it through 4 times, and on the 4th time it goes in, it's already dark, and now at the beginning of going through that process, it's on fire.
Okay, so for that, you're basically just eating charcoal.
Yeah.
And charcoal is carcinogenic, so have fun with that.
Old ass man who's a dentist. No,
oh, well, that's why he's eating charcoal, because it's good for your teeth. It's good for your teeth, but it's not good for the rest of you.
I mean,
and he wants it buttered.
I say buttered charcoal, but
you put butter on it too?
He had us put butter on it, which means we're over here burning the fuck out of our hands trying to deal with that shit. You have to have it in a timely manner.
But no, they actually use like charcoal for like other purposes, like that. Like hospitals, they'll like liquefy it or whatever, and have people drink it.
It's supposed to clean out your impurities and whatnot. That's why they put it in
water filters.
Water filters too, yeah. So if you see any little black dots or like when you first, I don't know if the filters still do that, but when you first put the filter in, they tell you to strain a couple things through, like a couple things of water. I had a weird dream where I was doing that for some reason, but anyway, that's how much I want a Brita picture.
I was about to say maybe you need to switch out the filters.
Maybe, but the reason it kind of looks a little bit brown or like a little bit like dark is because you're straining out the dust.
That's why now they say to put it in a cup of water and let it sit for like an hour, and then strain it for a little while and then put it in.
Or you could do the industrial version, like civil engineers. You would just use some lime and soda ash and all that kind of shit. Get that shit out there. It's good for your water.
Wow. Is it really?
Yeah, we do the calculations for it. It's annoying as fuck. I hated that class.
Did this recently?
Oh, that sucks.
Mario Kart.
So apparently, I heard that Capcom is just gonna be like remaking everything because RE2 did so well with its remake that they're just gonna redo everything. Like everything's up for grabs.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, Final Fantasy 7's been in the works for a while, and I know, or rumors they announced for Final Fantasy 8. I haven't played that one, but I hear that one's getting remade. They need to still need to do Power Stone. Keep saying it till they do it.
They probably fucking. I'll get to that later. You said you had something else.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard a rumor that 76 is doing some paid subscription stuff.
I did see that. Yeah.
I didn't read into it too much because you're the Fallout guy.
I don't.
So you don't
want to fucking talk about it.
But it was like, you want updates and stuff? You want DLC? Pay subscription.
Guys, you want to play in this burning house? Let's go play in this burning house as it burns. That'll be fun.
Burn, baby, burn.
Oh my god, dude.
Like, I didn't look into it too much because I don't really play Fallout, and you normally are on top of the Fallout information. But I saw that and I was like, hey, I wonder if Grateful Ninja knows about this.
I'm not up to date with my podcast, but I can already tell that is a scam. Don't fall for it unless they fixed anything. I don't know if they've, because it could have been that they fixed a bunch of shit, but I doubt it.
We definitely have to talk about something because that conversation we had over Messenger is like everybody was for fucking Magic and you're just over here like, oh, but technology is like, no, Magic wins.
The thing that I was thinking about with respect to that,
he's just gonna go against people no matter what. That's what he does.
Not true.
Whoever the most people go for, he's going to go against.
No. That's literally the only thing with science versus the Magic shit. Was literally that shitting. I'd like to poop and pee in a fucking toilet. That old school Magic shit, all the time. Whenever we're going to the black, we're going to be like I'm going to be the fucking Black Knight or whatever. It's like there's no toilets.
Now notice you didn't say old in the conversation. You didn't say old school.
Negro, it says old RPG like fantasy type world. That's what that means. You're going back in time. And there's magic. It's not like it's going to be bright.
After this race, I'm going to look up the conversation. Well, relook at the conversation.
Because that was the whole point. If you have creature comforts of now, like you're exchanging the creature comforts of now for magic. Or on the other side, it's super advanced sci-fi. Spacefaring type shit sci-fi. So it's like, what's the point of...
I mean, if you're Gandalf or Ganondorf, you can just... Or no, it's Gandalf. You can just...
Ganondorf?
Yeah. You just remove the poop with magic.
Fucking, yeah. Or
if you know how to do that.
Dumbledore.
Yeah, Dumbledore, that guy. If you know how to do that.
Which is funny, because that's exactly what Arnaldo said about the poop. When I said, like, I'd rather shit
on the left leads to fantasy world of magic, adventure, and outdoor, and the right door leads to futuristic sci-fi world, so it does not say old magic at all.
Boom!
Okay, but look at the fucking door.
That doesn't. No, see, this is exactly what he does.
Okay,
this is exactly what he does with every argument. He just lost. Now he has to go for it.
It's not a loss just because you say it's a loss. First of all, that's your problem. Fucking, if it's magic and shit, it has to be old school things.
It does not.
Because
it really does not.
Because what are you trading for? There's nothing to trade for. You're talking about magic and then what? It's just going to be today? It doesn't say that.
You saying Harry Potter doesn't have toilets?
Actually, they do, because we learned that they magic the bullshit out of themselves.
So the bathroom...
From centuries ago!
Dumbledore still does it.
Because he's centuries old! He's an old motherfucker! He's in his 300s, I think. I don't even fucking know.
He can't be in his 300s, because in 1800s, when Nicholas Flamel first met him, he was a teenager. And they met in, like, the 1800s.
I don't fucking... He could have been using... All I'm saying is that they had toilets.
Is he using magic to keep his booty hole tight?
Oh, can we not? What is with you and gay shit?
I want to know how like.
Whoa!
I want to know how like what spells would only a gay wizard know? Booty hole tightening spell. Why would he not know that?
Maximus tidiness? I don't know.
He already knows spells that have to do with like taking poop out of his butt. Why would he stop there?
To make sure that it's nice and clean. Anyway, they have toilets.
You're assuming they have toilets.
They showed you they had toilets.
Oh, are you talking about Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Wow. We were
No, yeah. If you're talking about Harry Potter, of course they have toilets.
Oh.
They have a bunch of kids who it's like, are you gonna trust a first year kid? That one kid blew up a fucking thing of water or whatever. Wasn't it? Were you trying to turn water into wine?
It was a cup.
Or what?
That kid.
And he is just bad at doing regular
exactly.
magic.
So can you imagine that in someone's ass?
With bombs.
Can you imagine if he blew up someone's ass?
He's a bomb specialist.
So yeah, they're not going to choose. And also, there's kids who they live in nowadays, so it's like the creature comforts of now.
It's still magic.
Yeah. It's not the kind. I mean, if that's Harry Potter's kind of limited with respect to when I thought of magic, I think like people can like a fucking Doctor Strange level shit. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, you're gonna make fucking monk type people who live in that area just because?
Doesn't necessarily have to be monks because I mean
they choose to live like that.
Okay, but like
outside in the regular world,
their grandmas
in the regular world, they have toilets. The toilets there.
Yeah, Slumdog Millionaire was just
basically when they were saying you're going back to magic.
You're not going back
to a time when magic and the world.
You're not going back to a time.
The human world and the magical world are still together. Because at some point they separated. That's why we don't have all this magic shit now. Because when the gate opened and they go to the other side, they got magic and shit. But is it future timey? Is it any of that shit? Like, no. That's the kind of world they're talking about you going to. You're going to a world that's got dragons and shit and all this other shit. People are too worried about... If there's magic, that means there's magical creatures. If there's magical creatures, that means that there's too many people giving a shit about surviving those magical creatures, like fucking dragons and shit, to give a shit about, oh, where am I going to poop? I'll poop in a fucking hole. I don't care. I got to fucking save my wife from getting goblin taken. Like... Because if what you're saying is true... And it's just like this world, but just with magic. What would be the point of even putting up both of those things? What's even the point of choosing sci-fi if you have the creature comforts of today?
Literally, Harry Potter is your main thing that I can actually go off on that one.
And I don't think Harry Potter's not a good enough like crazy level of magic. How is that
not a good enough crazy level of magic?
Well, because for one, the magic is limited to like 1/10 of the population. Only 1/10 of the population in Harry Potter has magic.
See, again, you're going on this broad span. You have two different worlds. You have one that deals with technology, one that deals with magic. You know what? Fine. Fuck it. Hellboy.
Hellboy count as magic?
It's two different worlds in one. You gotta go through a portal to get to one. You get this bullshit there.
I haven't read enough Hellboy stuff. Because which movie are you even? Because one of them they don't.
I'm not even talking about what the movie. I'm just talking about Hellboy in general. It's just.
He's not gonna know that.
Yeah, because I only know about the movies, and both of the movies went in like two completely different directions. Because the main bad guy for the one of the movie.
We don't talk about.
I'm just saying though, the main bad guy. For that first movie, the main bad guy for that first movie was like a joke character in the movie we saw. He's a fucking joke character. They're like, oh, fucking Rasputin. He got his head chopped off like 2 seconds.
Honestly, like with the newer Hellboy, like because it wasn't like the old actors, like I'm not even bothering like to watch it.
The dragon was cool though.
It was hot though. That was pretty dope.
The dragon was cool.
He did fight a dragon. What the fuck is
going on?
I will say
I see both of your arguments
because that's what I'm saying. Like if it's a future whatever, why would you choose?
Actually,
there would be no choice if it wasn't like old school magical adventure, whatever. Like if it wasn't literally walking through and going to the world of Gate, where there's magic everywhere and dragons and this, that, and third, blah blah blah. Because why wouldn't you choose today with magic? That's a no-brainer.
I know what you're saying.
You still got to go through a portal to even get to something with magic on this point.
I mean, they're both technically portals. I mean, one of them's just made with something.
One of them is telling you is going through time. That's one pointing to the future.
Yeah, because it's spacefaring bullshit.
So
other one can literally be you are crossing into
an
a different
dimension.
That's like what I was gonna say.
No, I'm saying the science one could be you going to a different dimension where it's like an alternate timeline, dimension,
hey,
universe,
politics
whatever.
hasn't crapped on science, so
you know how like
but it's in the future.
It might not be though, because remember
it specifically states future, which is in the future.
It's not though. It's a galaxy. It's a galaxy far, far away a long time ago. They even say that in the fucking thing in the opening.
There's
a long, long time ago.
There's
galaxy far, far away. They say that like at the beginning of every fucking movie. Once upon a time, a galaxy far, far away. Long time ago. Galaxy far, far away. Also, how could E.T. know Yoda? How could all the crossing of the bullshit happen if it's not like long, long time ago?
Have you seen a regular Magic High School?
No.
Okay.
So
because I was gonna ask him if that's what his mind went to for the magic.
That actually would be dope.
Because that's a magical sciencey hybrid, but it's like our time.
Yeah. So it's
think of the Tales series on how they are.
Tales. You mean like Tales of Experience stuff? Well, that's all old stuff though. That's like what he was referring to. That's like because I know both of the arguments though. Like I understand
where I'm putting it as, and they still have everything dealing with vehicles, toys, and all this other bullcrap, and they have massive cities.
That's why I said
progress through
like
magic,
magical things, or so it's all magic.
That's why I said what's the name? Regular Magic High School.
Because like Fairy Tail, have they ever shown us the bathrooms in Fairy Tail?
Yeah.
I've seen the tubs. I haven't seen the toilets.
We've seen tubs. You've
seen them all in Lucy's bathroom.
I don't know what I'm saying, but every time I see them in the bathroom, they're tub. I don't remember seeing the tub.
Lucy is in the tub, but you see Nacho and Gray are either near the sink or the toilet.
I have to watch it again.
Yeah, I don't remember because
then she freaks
toilet,
out.
I mean, Lucy's naked in the tub. Who gives a shit about the fucking next to the bathroom?
I mean, what's the name has a toilet?
Am I wrong though?
Hawkeye has a toilet. He don't have a tub, but he got a toilet. Hawkeye Mihawk.
He probably does. Just
has one toilet in like one mad big room. And it's mad dark in there.
So is his single man ship, is that basically just a toilet he can just shit on and just keep it going?
I was thinking the same thing, but my thing was like, if he did that, things could swim up and bite him in the ass. So that's probably not a great idea. Unless it had a mechanism to be like, we can figure that out.
That is a built-in bidet. The Sea King's bidet. Do you
know there are places in the fucking world where they actually do that? Where they have there's no water in the toilet? I learned that shit from watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. There was a thing where, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, they're trying to get from Japan to Egypt in like 80 days before dude's mom dies because of bullshit. One of the places that they go to is in the Middle East or India, and the French dude is like, why is there no water in the toilet? Then all of a sudden he sees a pig's head come into the bottom of the toilet. He's like, what the fuck? What? And then he's like, just pig in the fucking toilet. And they're like, yeah, that's what, like, the shit rolls down and then the pig, like, eats it or whatever. That's why they say you shouldn't eat pork, because pigs eat anything. They will eat anything. That's how they hide bodies. That's how in places like this, and they were like, yeah, the owner, that's the owner's favorite pig. He likes to put his head in the thing instead of waiting for the shit to roll down, and then he licks the owner's cheeks clean. And I'm just like... I was like, no. We don't have to.
So, do you think Peter would be upset about that?
There's some things we don't have to learn about other cultures. There's some things that other cultures should keep to themselves.
You are not allowed to watch anything downstairs anymore.
Do you remember Gene from Bob's Burgers? Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. He's like, oh yeah, I know what a transvestite is. He's like, okay, no internet for a week. He's like, yeah, after what I saw, I think I'm okay with it. Oh my god, that shit was. I'm not watching any more JoJo down here. Fucking, that shit was weird. No,
well, I remember since I brought up regular Magical High School, they're getting a second season.
Did they have a movie?
Yep. They had a season 1 in the movie, and they're getting a second season, and it's hilarious because main character talks a lot throughout the trailer, and everyone was like, he spoke more in this trailer than he did in the entire series.
Pretty much.
Because he's one of those strong, silent, I can break the whole world type characters.
Yeah, his powers are dope.
Yeah.
That whole bullshit of like, oh, I have the most broken power, which is why I can't do anything else.
Yeah. But he's such a beast, though. Like,
oh, and Psycho-Pass is getting a 3rd season.
Yeah.
Heard about that.
Psycho-Pass.
I hope Kobe is in it.
Yes.
Yeah. Those guns
are
dope.
Good. That was good anime.
Those things are dope.
They actually made replicas.
Yeah. I saw fully functioning ones. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's like. They don't.
Well, there's
there's a $180 one, I think. That's like.
I was like the one that I saw. It was just like a replica. It was just like a non-functioning replica of the gun when it was like out in like the lethal mode.
Oh yeah.
Okay, there is one where it's like an entire gun is like this big, it's like a hand cannon size, and it actually has a chargeable pack you put in the bottom. And when you pull the trigger, it'll it starts glowing. It looks freaking beautiful.
They had that on showcase at
There's a video with an Asian woman.
Yeah, there's an Asian guy who does it too because he has both of them, and he was comparing the cheaper one versus the beefy one.
The $800 one or something like that.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Fucking dope.
It's in my Amazon list, but it's gonna stay in the list because I'm going to shop right will be in the list.
You gotta wait to get picked by Shaq or something for them to buy all the stuff in your.
Right. Keep buying them Kamen Rider belts.
That's why I feel like I just started putting things in layaway,
cold storage,
because
see if somebody paying
Tyler Perry and Shaq and everybody wants to go through a random Walmart, Best Buy, and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna pay for everyone's thing in layaway right now."
You know what you need to do? You need to put that bet on layaway and just hope for the best.
That's fucked up. I mean, I stopped trying to look for a bet because somebody told me they could possibly give me one, but I don't know how that's going now. Because things.
I know my mom was looking to get a new bed, so I was trying to figure out what she's about to do.
As well.
Because she said she found some place that was selling beds. Now, I don't know if these are accurate numbers because as I said, I don't know if these are accurate numbers, but I think she said the mattress was like $99, and then the box spring I think was like another $70 or something like that.
Because between your mom and Joe, you guys have broken my spirit. Oh, I can get you a discount on beds. Like, yeah, no. Oh, this bed's only $70. I'm like, that's a fucking steal. Oh, that bed is $300. Like, what?
Well, you see, for me, even I got pissed off with that one.
Children. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Because when you pee stains. People wouldn't want it. See, that's the thing. Winter Soldiers kids. I'm sorry, Chase. You might listen to this when you're 18.
Try to put them on blast.
If I hear you listening to this before you're 18, I'm gonna smack you. But
I'm just gonna put them out there like that. Could you just
his children? Because it's perfectly normal for a kid under 10 to have those kind of problems.
So he's trying to say he's 9 years old. Wow.
I actually. Joke's on you. I can't remember his age. I'm sorry, nephew. I'm sorry.
I'm about to say, remind you, this is the dude that he referred to as uncle, so it's like shame.
Nah, but
shame.
Just so shame.
I mean, no, like I said, I mean, he's my white nephew. I can't remember his name. But he's had problems with kids who pee the bed, and one of the things you have to do is you have to clean that shit like right after it happens, and then you don't get pee stains if you clean it the right way. But most people don't do that. Most people are like, oh, well, now it's got pee stains on it. Let's just put the plastic over it now. It's like, or clean it like while it's still fresh and you can take the stain out. It's like, you're supposed to do like a mixture of like baking soda and a bunch of other shit, and then like spray it on the mattress and then let it like dry, and then just wipe it off, vacuum it off.
I wonder if OxyClean works. Like if the pee is still fresh.
The chemicals for OxyClean though, I don't know how those work if you're not like putting them through the wash.
I'm just curious because you know how they have like OxyClean on your well because they have it for carpets too.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But I mean,
I think they have one.
But can you use those carpet things on your bed?
That's what I was about to say. I don't know if you can do that though. I mean, you can't sleep on it and make them strong. And build up immunity.
I'm resistant to boron because my mom lets me drink boron.
That's literally
just put a carpet cleaner.
Tenjo Tenge, dude. Remember towards the middle of Tenjo Tenge, there was the no, it was before that. That's manga only. There was this dude who like his family came from a clan who used to like drink like iron or something. So their kids like were like mad durable and stuff. And this dude had like a layer, Kimimaru with metal. So you know how Kimimaru had that layer of bone under his skin, like that with metal. Because he was fighting one of the sisters. I don't remember which sister. He was fighting one of the sisters, and he was just like tanking everything. And they pulled the sword out, and the sword bounced off of him. And then he was like, "Ha ha! I have iron skin." Blah blah blah. She was like, "Well, the sword's been sealed away." And then like all of the rest came off the sword.
The frost version of it.
Yeah,
shit's dope.
Yeah. I don't remember if it was Aya or Maya, because usually the younger sister usually has a sword, but the older sister got hands for days, so she can throw down. But she's not the special sister though.
In the dark thing, or in the black and white shit, they kind of almost look the same.
Yeah.
Like when she's in her adult, like her full version.
Yeah.
I don't think they do.
Hmm?
I don't think they do.
Well, one of them is always like a child in her chibi form, but when she's in her adult form, they look close enough in certain action scenes because you can't tell. You can't distinguish them from the color of their hair or even the way
it's all
their hair
black
is.
and white manga.
Especially because the younger one, when she gets serious, her hair starts doing weird shit too. So it's like, which one are you?
I gotta read more into that because it was getting interesting, but it was getting weird. All the families started showing up and stuff.
Did they ever finish? What the fuck? That actually happened?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, somebody got impaled on a pole.
Did they ever finish Tenjo Tenge?
I don't know, because the same dude who's doing Tenjo Tenge was doing Air Gear, and we saw how
Ogre Ito
that went.
AKA Ogre.
So I'm gonna have to reread it anyways because it's been a while.
If we ever go to Japan, we have to bring JT so he can meet Ogre. They're just.
If we ever go to Japan, I'm probably won't be coming back.
You'd be like Bob Makihara in that hallway. All the Asian women would be like, "No, Shadow, you can't leave."
Like, I
have to fight the bad guy at the top of this tower. Still stuck in the lobby for 21 hours. Like, I'll get there eventually. My legs can move again.
That still annoys me. It's like, you can be the strongest one here. Come with me, but I have to stay with my friend because he's my friend. But you can be the strong. When the bad guy says you could be the strongest one,
when all the Asian women are just throwing it at you, but no, you got to stay with your dumbass friend.
Word.
Yeah, you can't let black people prosper.
I mean, I'm trying to think. If you include the Cloud Village, then you got them.
Wow.
But,
no, because they held them back so much.
But I was gonna say, what's the name puts in work when they give him screen time? Simon from Durara.
Oh yeah.
When they give him screen time, he
only other
puts
person
in
in the
work.
show that's as strong as Shizuo.
Yeah, when they give him screen time, he puts in work.
But the only reason Shizuo wins is because he's more durable than Simon, with respect to his bullshit bones and all that.
Yeah. It's like high speed. When I get hurt, I heal stronger.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he does take a normal amount of time to heal. Like he might be.
But I mean, like he heals a lot stronger.
Yeah. Well, because
he's literally like, I'm gonna pick up this fridge, broke my back, now my back is healed, and now I can pick up cars.
Because his thing has always been that he has the crazy strength with his muscles, but it's the same thing as what you told me with Charlie, where it's like when he uses that strength, his muscles snap his bones. So all they need is that when the bones fuse back together, they're so. He has to get strong enough to where he can what he takes out, or he can take.
He's
what
Midoriya.
he dishes out. Kind of, yeah. Pretty much.
Like I can output all this force, but I can't withstand the force I'm outputting.
I mean, no one can. That's why you see fucking hurricanes and shit whenever All Might punches. That's all the energy in the punch that he's doing that he's not letting into his arm like Midoriya does. Wonder why he snaps like a fucking twig.
I just thought something terrible. With the whole when Chi-Chi was saying she wasn't afraid of Goten, I was thinking about that with All Might. If he was in All Might form,
do you think he can hold that form now? Still, like he does it like every so often, doesn't he?
He can't hold it.
Yeah, it's like 5-10 seconds.
Because didn't he do it to he did it for like 5 seconds when he met Midoriya's mom?
Yeah, he apologized to her.
Yeah, that might be just long enough.
So what
for the future of the world, Misizuku for the future of the world.
In my head, I was
like, great
just
smash!
enough for what? And I was like, oh god.
You really had to question.
I mean, sorry, excuse me for not being perverted 24/7. Mr. Nasty McNasty over here talking about pigs looking buttholes and shit.
That's what made me think of it.
But you have the knowledge of it.
Also, who said anything about that being sexual? That is a part of that man's that is a part of his daily routine that he very much enjoys. A little bit too much. When a man beats a pig.
There's the name of the podcast.
Do you think that when the pig is doing that?
I don't know. Stop.
Do you think he
wait.
Do you think he makes sounds like Kermit? Thanks, Biggie.
So Kevin James and Jason Mewes are going on tour with their movie.
Yeah.
To get away from butthole licking shit.
Or to go towards it.
It's gross.
Knowing Jason Mewes, they're going towards it. Because the click commander must be there.
I'm so hurt that they're not going to be anywhere near us.
Yeah, the closest they're coming is my hometown because I'm not from here like the rest of yous. But who wants to go all the way the fuck back there to see that? I kind of do.
I was going to say, I don't know why like, you don't want to go back.
I can't see it because I have to go see Winter Soldier because that's
what I was going to say. What you do is...
my only problem is if I go back for that and don't go back for people's birthday.
No, see what you do is you go back to see Winter Soldier and it just so happens that when you go to, you time it out, also, for the tour.
I can't sneak because Winter Soldier, for one...
He has
some things with some things. He where his girl lives is too close to that sex goal. And for two,
are they trying to?
And for two, no, I'm not.
No, so they're trying to get him.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the plan.
He's good at making babies.
Wow.
We need to refresh our ranks.
Wow. But any person that I go, if I'm back home at all, someone's going to find out, and they'll tell everyone else.
Put it on his Instagram. But yeah, what you do is you go be like, "Hey, I'm coming to see Winter Soldier," and then you go see Winter Soldier. It's like, "Oh, Jay Silent Bob just happened to be in town. We should go see it."
That's fucked up.
Somebody please do a blue show.
It's hurtful for me because I didn't even know that their movie had already came out. Like they had already released it.
I've seen trailers for it.
Made it, and then they're just trying to sell it to people.
No, the studios they already did it. Like they said, it was out. They had like a very small release and whatnot.
Oh yeah, because the 17th and the 18th, right?
Yeah,
they did like a 2-day thing.
So I didn't know it was out, but I've seen trailers up for it for the last 2 months, I think.
Which is why I thought they were looking for. I know a year ago they were looking for a studio to even pitch it to, or a couple of years ago, because they had already started making it, and they were like, "Who wants it?" And then who did they end up with? Do you know who that is? Was it Universal, Paramount, or whatever?
I believe it's they've always done through Paramount, right?
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I believe they always gone through Paramount. But yeah, no, they had a very small release, and then now what they're doing is they're going on tour. So everywhere they go is where they're going to show the movie, and they're going to watch it with people and have a Q&A afterwards.
Which is dope, and I have to figure out what movie theater back home it is. So at least if I can't watch it, I can tell Winter Soldier about it. He can go see it.
Road trip.
I know, right?
But it's that is something very much where it's like, how in the fuck did my theater not get that? That is so up their alley. It's like, what the fuck? Why did you guys drop the ball on this? And when I go into work tomorrow, I'm going to
complaining and
I'm
drop it.
I'm going to go and talk to them like, hey, listen, y'all need to see if you can convince them to come here because what the flying fuck? Seriously.
Dynamic entry. Can have Javi RKO your boss.
There's now 3 movies that because of me constantly talking about it that it's gotten to that theater. And did amazing.
You know what you gotta do? Just gotta dress up like Jay. Get your little red booties and everything. Walk around the movie theater. Dress up like Chronic.
It's just gonna be hard to do.
Just to be your blunt man.
Just because they have like
I mean, they gotta find something in Joe's size first.
That is true.
Because Jason Mewes is like a little bit smaller.
A little bit.
I mean, they can paint some yachts red, and he can use the yachts for booties.
Shit.
Lee, tell me how you really feel.
But it's just gonna suck trying to do that though because when they do the tour like that, they
already have
have the dates and everything set up. So you have to find some
Hard Theater and the Egg. Just to let you know, Hard Theater and at the Egg.
Oh, okay, yeah, you did say that. Yeah, so it's
February 7th.
Yeah. See, times like this, Joe, you gotta start using all those connections. You gotta get Tom Holland and Chris Hemsworth. Start tweeting about it and stuff.
Listen, I would use my connection with them for personal gain. I'm not even gonna lie.
Gotta get your girl her connections. Amazon. Can't remember her name right now.
Neither can I. Let's just gloss over
Mackenzie. You can't remember Mackenzie.
Isn't that the name of
Bezos?
Wow, you know what the crazy part is?
That's your girl. You forgot her name.
Well, no, it gets worse though. That's why it gets worse though.
Because you said Amazon. You know how many Amazon things there are to think about? There's the Amazons from.
No. Specifically, your woman.
Yeah, but my only hint is Amazon. You got the Amazons from any number of shows. Because I was just thinking about Snoo Snoo earlier today.
No,
literally while we were talking about the sex thing.
That's not your.
And then also Amazon.
But the name though,
right where my brain went.
But the name though,
I know what the fucking name is. The fuck up.
Shame.
Do you though? Do you?
Shame.
After this, we're gonna fight to death.
It's 5'11".
Ooh.
Jason Mewes.
Ooh.
Still shorter than you. So.
Word.
I forgot.
You know, I was being sarcastic when I said he was only a little bit smaller than you, right?
I had to look and see how tall the motherfucker was.
Always doing that.
You know he gotta
he doles out respect based on people's height.
Gotta be like,
I'm taller than you. I can't even.
He's only 6'2". I can take him.
Goldberg. I'm not even afraid of you.
Wait a minute.
Your words, not mine.
Don't have Goldberg coming in.
I said Goldberg's gonna be bigger than Joe.
Beat you down till you make you smaller than him.
Beat
I
you
would
5'1".
Goldberg is something.
Sweep the leg
from here. No.
Sweep the leg.
So Joe,
Jason Mewes, he's the only reason why I even like white dudes now. There you go. Respect to you.
Wow, that's fucked up.
So time to death. I have a question for you. In your vast viewing of wrestling, who do you think has the worst or the most potent spear and or gore? Because there's like 4 or 5 people who really do it.
Goldberg and Rhino are tied.
Yeah.
Those two are literally.
Those two are the two like biggest ones, but there have been a lot of people who've done it. But I agree with you. Those two are the heavy hitters when it comes to it.
Like consistent.
And what's even funnier, the fact that the size difference between the two of them is kind of ridiculous because Rhino is not that big of a person. I mean,
he's wide.
He's stocky.
Yeah, he's wide, but he's not like huge.
Big Mike.
Yeah.
But man, he'll talk about buckling people. The two of them.
I remember when they used to like spear Big Show or Mark Henry, and they would go down. It was like, yeah, I don't want that no more.
You see, that's why I loved old school wrestlers because they'll take a move that anyone does and could make it their own finisher, like a spear. And the only other person, the last one to do something like that was JBL with the clothesline.
Yeah, because when he clothesline people, they do backflips.
Yeah.
And he would and it wasn't like a this, like he would run up to you. Like he would nasty. Yeah. He basically decapitated people and got paid to do it.
And it's not even just with small dudes. He did.
He used to take everybody. It was actually funny when he used to fight people bigger than him. He would have to double tap them to do it. Like he would hit them and they would just tank it, and then he would do it again. They would go down. It was always funny to me.
Got to take away the resistance.
Word,
first.
yeah.
In his older stuff, when he was part of APA,
yeah.
No one was
APA.
Yeah. It's what's which I think everyone seems to forget the fact that he was always partnered up with Farouk from the get go, and it's like,
Farouk was always great. He's like the Mr. T of wrestling because he would never say anything except for his main.
Damn.
Yep. And he would just put in work.
I thought that was hilarious. When one of my teachers was named Farouk, I was like, oh, it's him.
It was Farouk, JBL, and who was the third dude? Al Snow, I think it was, because he had like the doll head. Mm-hmm. I think that was Al Snow.
You know who used to be really entertaining to me? The Dudley Boys.
Yeah.
Why did I think to have them in my story? Like I was gonna have two demons as them, and somehow someone was gonna go through a fucking table.
What about Spike? You gotta include the little guy.
You gotta have the table come out of nowhere too.
That's like the whole.
Like you're looking at the scene, and all of a sudden you go up to the attack and then come down on a fucking table. You're like, where the fuck did that come from? Energy.
So someone will get picked up, and then
the divine table, or it's gonna be like
3D right through the table.
Are they gonna be like
through the ping pong table?
It's gonna be a demonic table, so they're gonna get impaled. Ooh. Yes. Patenting.
Pretty sure Vlad the Impaler's got us all on that shit. He's impaled everyone.
You know what you could do? It could be a table with it'd be clean in the middle and spikes on the end. So when you do
boom, clap.
Yeah.
They ain't ready.
It's hilarious that because 2 days ago I was walking to work and I was like,
how can I kill people with a table?
I got on wrestlers because I was just got done watching One Piece and I was thinking about wrestlers and all that stuff. So I should have 2 people in the story be like the Dudleys and they'll just go around
tag team people.
And that'll be like their whole thing. And they'll have a ring in the middle of their compound that they take over, and people have to fight them in that. And this is gonna be a handicap match for one. But.
Be like, how do you keep making things? First the ring, now the table. The fuck? You just materialize a chair. You're just like, what the fuck?
Like, thank Bulma, Capsule Corp.
Oh my god.
Wrestling makes me think of
if we're going to go with you have to do the 4 Dudleys then. Bubba, Devon, Spike, Big Dick Dudley.
Tag team match. Do you have 4 characters in the main character's crew? Is it how many people you got in the main character's crew? Or does he do more like solo stuff?
Out of there's 10 of them technically because there's going to be 10. It has to be 10 fighters for.
Yeah.
But for him, it's
those they tend to break them down or whatever sometimes.
I mean, for him, it's very much just going to be the other 2. It's just going to be 3 of them.
3-person.
Well, he's kind of one that connects them all.
Yeah.
So he has multiple factions, I guess.
He's like the linchpin kind of.
Yeah.
So it's almost like Yo.
I still feel bad for what's going to wind up happening to for CT, but that's literally it has to be that way for how it's set up already.
How much more have you written?
I have written 5 sentences.
Good job.
I'm not gonna lie and say, oh yeah, I've written like 2 paragraphs. Yeah, I'm getting through it. No, I've written 5 sentences.
I mean, that's how all the good writers do it.
And here's the worst part about it. I have in my head what for the rest of it going to be. I am still going back and forth to where I just don't want to have in my notebook the scratching out. I know I'm supposed to be typing it up, but it's like I'm gonna write it up first and then type it all out.
You should
still brainstorming ideas.
I don't really write, but when I used to write for creative writing class, what I would do is I would always write on really paper with a lot of lines on it, and I would always write my lines 2 lines apart. So that way, whenever if instead of scratching it out, I would just write above it and then just highlight the stuff in different colors to know how I feel about it. So that way you don't have to keep scratching out. You can have that colors and know. That's what I used to do.
Paint with all the colors.
With which manga does that? I know,
but
because they let you in on some of their stuff, and I can't remember who does that. I think it might have been Yoshiro Tagashi. Maybe.
But you probably only write in one color throughout.
He does
usually
multiple colors.
Well, then that'll fix your problem right there.
No, he uses the different colors to differentiate between the different characters.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about doing for
the most part, it helps me. Then I know exactly which
closed captioning.
Without even having to read it,
yeah, I know exactly who's talking at which point. And for me, I did that specifically, so I know I'm going to be fucking up a lot. Or because I'm so fickle-minded for anything that I do that I will go back and change something completely, and it could fit just fine.
Word.
But for me, it's like, you know what? Even though everyone said they liked it, I'm going to change it.
That is part of George Lucas.
I was about to say, that's like, see, Joe's that guy when you watch the movie trailer, you're like, oh, they're going to have, sword fighting. And you watch the movie and it's like, where's the sword fighting? Joe.
I would never do that.
Because there's literally...
You're doing it. You do it, though, when it's, still in the production phase.
This
motherfucker's doing it, years later. Star Wars has been out for how many fucking years? And he's going, oh, no, Yoda wasn't green. Nah, he's, purple.
There's literally a Power Ranger movie where on the box cover they have rat monsters, and then in the movie they took all the rat monsters and do crow monsters or something. Actually, it might be the Ivan Ooze movie.
I was gonna say if there's crows, then there's Ivan Ooze.
Yeah, I think it was the Ivan Ooze movie. They're supposed to have rat monsters also, and they completely took them out. If you get the original box of it from way back.
I still want to get one of the ninja suits.
I thought he was going to say the armors. I was like, yo, get me one too. Actually, if you know anyone who can sew, I have the pattern for the Ninjetti suits at home.
That was dope.
I found the pattern online for $10. I can't sew.
2 different seasons, they were just put it in a movie. I don't care.
Yeah, the Ivan Ooze movie was great.
Now I feel like an asshole for only writing 5 sentences.
I mean, I'm worse because I got fucking chapters, but I haven't continued writing shit for the past couple years.
I mean, it's great practice for when the anime comes out and they catch up and they gotta go that way with it.
And
we gotta make it.
I
They were
haven't even
catching up.
started writing, so you're right at me.
It's just, for me, I hate the fact that I have a lot of stuff already planned out. It's just me trying to get there.
Yeah.
That's what's really fucking with me. And for the fact that I would like to have it be as a manga, basically.
Yeah.
You don't want to do
I can't because I have to write it and be fully descriptive with everything while trying to write, so when people read it, they can fully see what exactly is going on in my head.
It sounds more like a light novel.
Did you ever do Did you ever do the thing in school where they do the exercise for writing where they're like, you gotta you're trying to describe to a person who doesn't know what bread and peanut butter and jelly and stuff is, how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
That shit is annoying as fuck, but it is great for learning how to do the descriptive shit. With that.
See, I never had an issue with that. I can always paint a good picture. It's just
It always depended on how much of a stickler your teacher was, though.
Yeah.
We had one teacher who was a complete fucking asshole. And it was just like, hey, okay, the shiny this, that, and third blah blah thing that's right there on the table, on like you could say even the coordinates on the fucking table where the knife was. So even if you didn't do a good job describing it, you could say where it was, and he'd be like, pick up a random thing, and be like, oh, this. He's like, really, nigga? And he will go through the whole instruction, destroying the loaf of bread and the fucking peanut butter, just to be like, not descriptive enough, him. Yeah. It's like, nigga, really? Okay.
Yep, that's the one I had, but I had the racist one because I was the only black kid in that fucking class, and he tried to. And I was like,
I was trying to make a joke out of peanut butter thing. Oh, you did because you black, you can describe peanut butter? Fuck out of my class.
Go make me some Kool-Aid.
Wow. He got really upset. You know, like, for what? I did exactly what you asked, and he wasn't having it because he was getting real critical to everyone else, and it was like, oh, I guess it's Joe's turn now. Let's see what you did. And it's like, lucky I'm a kid. I can't slap the shit out you.
I mean,
yeah, my teacher he brought like,
and this was also summer
pretty
school.
sure he bought like 5 to 6 loaves of bread because he knew how much of an asshole he was.
He was like, I'm about to destroy these kids' hopes and dreams.
Yeah. With
this honey wheat.
Funny thing is, it didn't help a lot of people. Because you know, white kids, they don't respond to that kind of. Nah, that didn't work. That was funny though. Yeah. Well, this writer that I was talking to, the guy you bought the book from at the con, he was just saying, if you're having writer's block or if you're whatever, just write something every day. So as long as you're writing, it keeps the juices flowing. So even if it's not part of your story, or even if it's like
just random something funny you thought of, just
like I've heard Eiichiro Oda has talked about how he originally I hate that the fucking manga sites cut this shit off that's at the end of his chapters where he talks about shit like this, but like he talked about how one of the things that he wrote for he wrote like an entire story script type thing for a thing in One Piece that was going to be dumb far ahead, but he wrote it like really early when he was still writing, I don't know what, he's probably like at Reverse Mountain or something like that, and he was writing something for he was already writing, I don't know about Mayor Swamp, but he was definitely already writing stuff for like Alabasta and all that kind of crap.
But like, yeah, back when you guys were just reading Reverse Mountain, I already had the Dark History stuff planned out and written. I already had all 45 of those new One Piece Straw Hat Pirates already prepared.
And he would just do a random page from that, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this would work too." And this, that. Some people do that; they work backwards instead of working forwards.
That's how some people do their movies.
Yeah, which is, and you can always tell the people who do that and don't do it right and suck at it, because you're like, this movie doesn't make any sense.
I mean, they did the Lord of the Rings backwards.
Are they really?
Yeah. Why do you think Orlando Bloom is so big in The Hobbit and he's smaller than everything else?
Right.
Can't believe it. Look at that. 100 to 100.
That's how it should be. Yeah, yo.
Has 200%.
So,
One Piece Stampede's got 200%.
Frankie, Jinbei.
How am I Frankie? Why do y'all keep saying that I am Frankie? Do I wear Speedos? Do I yell super?
I mean, I've never seen you at the beach, so I don't know if you wear Speedos. Gotta ask Jared.
I don't think we've never been to the beach together.
Nope.
Because I don't go to the beach.
Exactly.
Because I'm evil. Nah, that's fucked up.
No. If there is anyone that I am,
I was thinking that too, man. That you would look dope in that hat. Fucking love that hat. I want one of those.
Then Josh is gonna be Sanji. We already know this. Who's gonna be?
Why can't I be Brooke or Garp?
Garp
or Fujitoro.
I was gonna say Garp and
You're just racist. That's all you are.
I'm racist because Fujitoro has the exact same hairline as you. Okay.
You're just racist.
Yeah, right.
You think all light skinned people are like,
whoa, what? maybe if y'all stop looking like maybe if y'all stop looking like the chicken on that box of George Foreman over there. Wow. Look at it though. Look at it.
So I'm not good enough to be waffle anymore. Okay. Wow.
Been demoted.
Chicken's still good.
You can be chicken and waffle.
You looked at me like, nigga, you know chicken's not bad.
That's why it's called the Waffle House, that chicken house.
No, that's because of grease fires. That's what.
Actually, I haven't had waffles in a while.
They say if you walk into a Waffle House and it doesn't look like convicts are in the kitchen, it's not gonna be good.
What?
Yeah.
That's like saying you need a fat chef in order for the food to taste good.
So I have a question for you, Joe. You went to a Chinese restaurant.
Exactly.
I like fat people don't eat.
Exactly. That's the thing. They're going to eat the best parts of your meal, and you don't get your shit.
Wow. This is
great. Wait. Is that why the proportions look so weird when you go to them high-end restaurants? Because the fat people already ate all the good stuff. You just get the... That's why they put the sauce, the extra sauce on it, make it look all nice. It's like, we took all the steak.
That shit is ridiculous, too.
You get the asparagus and then some sauce drippings.
Imagine paying $30 for a tiny little ass steak. That's like the fucking remember the Worth It videos? The Worth It videos are like one of the only things BuzzFeed does good. Because they just let them do whatever they're doing. But they had the caviar taco thing. Shit is like, I think it's like $100 or some shit, but it's like that tiny. It's this tiny little fucking thing that's like $100.
No.
I kind of want to try. I kind of want to try some of the things that they do in those places.
I thought you were gonna say caviar. I'm like,
caviar is not that great. It's like there's a specific way to eat it so that it's good. Like you gotta press it against. You gotta press your tongue into the roof of your mouth and like squeeze it or some shit. I don't fucking know. At least that's what I've been told for how to eat it.
Joe's like, I don't approve.
To get like the full flavor palate or whatever.
Joe, I have a question for you real quick. In time to be deaf. If you went to a Chinese restaurant and there was nothing but white people cooking, you consider it to be authentic Chinese food?
I wouldn't.
The funny thing is we have white people at our Chinese food spot and we're like, he don't cook, does he? Like, no, he answers phone. I'm like, okay, good. And the other one delivers food.
It depends on what you qualify as traditional. Because if you're saying what we get at Chinese restaurants here, then none of it's traditional.
I was actually going to say there was actually a time where we went to a Chinese restaurant and we ordered our stuff.
It's not there at all. What we have here, don't expect to see that if you go to China.
Yeah, I'm saying it's junk food that they don't even eat.
When we went to a Chinese place, we had ordered our food, and then one of the chefs came out with like this mad big thing. I'm like, oh, you getting the good stuff? You ain't gonna share?
That's fucked up.
Yeah, like the big bowl, like Naruto ramen.
Yeah. I've been told you can find that stuff in China, but you're only going to find white people in that place. Yeah. There's white people that are like, oh yeah, Chinese food, it's great.
There's a spot, and it's open on Monroe Ave. We should all go there. It's really good.
You remember that time we were all hanging out, and you guys, I think was it after D&D? You guys had got Chinese food, and they had they fried the wontons in the same batter or the same oil that they fried the sweet buns in. So the wontons were real sweet. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think I had that, so I couldn't tell you.
I'm pretty sure. I think it was D&D because it was when Steve was with his mom. I remember everybody. It was just funny because the wontons are not supposed to be sweet, and they were like, that sugar bread that you get at the buffets. Basically tasted like that.
Oh, that's dope.
So it wasn't
Chinese buffet.
It wasn't bad. It was just like you weren't expecting it because you're like, oh, this is a wonton. This is really sweet.
You said that?
Second. Might be third.
Yeah, because I remember when
I've said it to you. I said it to you. So if we're talking about like overall count, possibly third.
No, because there was a time we were talking about it outside the podcast. And then you mentioned it while we were in the podcast, like a couple weeks later or some shit, and you blamed me for it, I believe, because I was talking about going to a restaurant.
Oh yeah, and then you took too long, and then I got food, and you were like, "Nigga, I thought we were gonna go," and I'm like, "Can't beat my speed." Yeah, we gotta go there.
Which one?
I think he said there's one in like
only
one in Henrietta and there's one in
I thought there was
oh, you just telling everybody.
I thought there was 2 out there. Or did they close one down? Yeah, I thought there were 2 out there. I have to check.
I think one of them. I don't want to say too many names of places.
Yeah. Well, because I thought there was one in the one in the one plaza, one in the other plaza. I thought
possibly. I can't remember if that other one is a Chinese one. The one near the ice rink. Over there, Taco Bell. I can't remember if that's a Chinese one. Anyway. So I learned what apparently there is a name for you know how like when in anime suddenly the production value just goes up, like if it like a fight's about to happen, or like remember Black Clover, Langris is about to be a dick, and they all just there's a word for when the animation quality suddenly spikes like that, and apparently it's sakuga. And apparently there's like entire groups now on Reddit and stuff like that where they share GIFs of just like those moments because they're best.
That was a like,
shit was dope.
Yeah, it was. How they just like all like
look at the dad boy. That was dope. I've watched that video and like rewatched that one scene like probably 5 times each time I watch the video.
It's a dope scene, like
word, because you're like, where the fuck did they even come?
Like, I literally had, like when I saw that happen, I actually got chills. I was like, yo,
yeah,
that's
it's
cool
dope.
shit.
I'm getting chills thinking about it. Just the way they like flew there, like all together, and you're just like,
that's
where the fuck
it's a
was
good
that?
scene. You get chills not even watching.
Oh, you're talking about during the exam?
During the when they're like magic nights.
Yeah,
the partner exam.
And then he was about to. They were like.
Yeah.
It was like, one more step and I'll cut your head off. One more step and I'll rip your heart off. Yeah.
Luck was just like, yeah, nah, I'll just fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Murder.
Luck's probably my favorite.
Yo, when Luck gets serious.
Yeah. And then after,
That's because Luck is like, he has like main character anime shenanigans.
I mean, he's basically the EA character.
Yeah. But he has those shenanigans where it's like, no one really pushes him, so you don't really see him go hard, and you see him go hard and it's like, wow. But he goes, when he has to go that hard, he goes against someone way stronger than him, so you don't really get a perspective of how strong he really is.
Yeah, because that person's like, oh, I can dunk on everybody. But
yeah.
It's
like as he like growing up, basically his mindset was his mom like pretty much just telling him to keep winning.
Yeah.
And that's made all he was literally just living to make his mom happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then like that's when like Asta and them came into play, like giving them like more of a purpose to
perspective on life.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to be a thing now.
Mix that in with some mental illness. And
I was about to say, that's what I was going to say. All the lightning attribute characters being traumatized as a child and stuff. Is it going to be a thing now? You got Killaway, you got Luck. You got any other ones? Zuko can't shoot lightning, but he was traumatized as a child.
I'd say Azula more, because she was taken in by like she was like gripped with the evil side of her family. So it's like
trying to think any other
whiteness. Wait, so does that mean Avatar Roku's not the white side? Yeah. That's fucked up.
Trying to think, we got any? Laxus.
Then again, there's no what's his name? There's no firebenders named Greg. So it's like, no.
Was Laxus traumatized as a child? Yes. I know there was stuff with his dad.
Yeah, his dad treated him like shit.
Okay, so yeah, we got Laxus.
His dad forced him to get a lacrima put inside of him.
Well, because he's a weak bitch.
That is true.
For being normal? He's a fucking normal person.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was normal.
He was frail as fuck.
Who?
Laxus, I think he was like frail.
Was he frail or was he just normal?
He was frail.
Yeah, I think he was frail.
Oh,
which is because
his dad did that to make him not frail.
Yeah.
He was trying to help him.
Well, yeah, because I thought he didn't have any he was like a regular person that just didn't have magic. I thought he called him frail because he was like...
No, I think he was frail because he was
magic.
like...
Your grandfather can do magic. You can't do anything. Kind of like an Asta thing, only with family that can actually...
No, I think he was like frail.
No,
because the way Fairy Tail seems like you might be able to, if you just train, you might be able to get magic. Because remember the one kid who his dad was stuck in the mountains and...
Romeo.
What's the name saved him? Remember he was training with the one fire dude who has different flavors of fire or whatever?
Well, that's the thing. His dad and his... We don't actually know who his mom is, I don't think. But his dad has magic, so you... It's like an organ thing or whatever, so it would like pass down.
I am getting sick of this dude with these fucking problems.
Laxus.
Unless
there's more stuff that came out with him and his dad, but his dad cared enough about him to go get the little lacrima or the little dragon scale or whatever. And
I mean, he didn't want that though. That wasn't like good because he did that to like surgery on a kid for no reason.
I mean, they do that in Naruto all the time.
I mean, and how do you even go about putting something like that in a person's body? Just
put it in some cereal and let me eat it.
Grind it up.
It just never comes out. It's just all the lightning's coming out of his butt.
Like, here's this yellow cookie. Have it.
Yellow. Don't chew it. Dad, it hurts. It could be that maybe I wasn't thinking he was frail because the way that Hiro Mashima draws kids is weird. So they always look like kind of chibi, like big ass head and tiny body. So maybe he was trying to make him look sickly, and I'm like,
let's put it this way: he looked more sickly than what Urza looked like when she was a child.
It's kind of hard to do. Urza was a fucked up child, like from the start.
Trying to think any other
At least your dad still calls you son.
Traumatized lightning users in anime.
Well, yeah, how will Laxus be traumatized? He had a fairly good childhood
because of his grandfather. All the shit with his dad was terrible. Until his grandfather like took him from his dad, because his dad. He saw the way that his dad was, his dad's influence on him. That's why he made a point to be like, I'm going to be in my grandson's life because his dad is a dick. And then his dad left. And then that's when he's like, you're with me now. And that's why he raised him, but that's why he's got daddy issues. So compared to some of the other people like Gray and like, I lost my whole village and my parents died and turns out my dad's a demon slayer or whatever bullshit that was. Fucking
plot twist.
It's not as bad as that, but it's bad for like today's standards.
Everybody, you grew up on South Park. Why are you so soft?
That's why Laxus isn't the main character. He doesn't have enough pain in his life.
When I saw that fucking little meme or whatever the fuck it was, we're talking about, I don't understand how we grew up with Simpsons and South Park and all this other crap, but we didn't really care about you guys. It's like, I was like, guess because we grew up with that crap.
Y'all can't handle a box of tampons changing.
Yeah, when you told me that, I thought you were like really fucking with me.
You thought I was fucking with you.
What happened now?
Apparently, women are getting upset because women. Yeah, the women are getting upset because the tampon companies are becoming more. They're trying to. I think it's specifically Tampax is trying to be more inclusive by including their non-binary people, and by doing that, they are taking the female symbol, I guess, off of the package of tampons, and then that's pissing off a lot of women because they're like, "What the fuck?" Like it's for like women, but it's like, eh.
I remember seeing this was like a long while ago. I remember I saw something, like a quick ad. I was paying attention to something else, but for some reason I was listening to it as well. But the ad was pretty much they were making things so it's like Tampax or whatever. But for women, it's an alternative, so it's not like a woman actually sticks something up there. So it's a different methods to stopping that from happening, which is more comfortable for them. It was I was that's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
Because you don't know somebody might not want that up there
that's what the maxi pads are for, isn't it?
No. It's something completely different. It's different means of.
You're asking the wrong person.
See, Joe, they use magic to just.
Whoa! Poop is one thing, but where does that shit go? Surprise! It's in your mattress. Oh God, that picture you showed me.
Wait,
was it you or Ramos that showed me the picture of there was the chick in the white pants and her crotch was entirely red, and then the dude's face, like his
that was both me and Ramos.
His face was red too, and I was like,
it was like a Halloween thing. Where
I get it, but still.
I mean, have you ever seen Superbad?
That's exactly what I thought of when I first saw that. I was like, and I was trying to remember the name.
Have you ever watched RJ Burger?
Yes.
You remember? You know what I'm talking about, Joe? When Big Man
she starts pulling your hair out and shit. I was like, yeah.
Do you remember when Big Man joined the cheerleader squad?
Oh
yeah. And he held it. I like that. That show was hilarious. That show was great.
Yeah, movie 43. I had that in there.
Yeah. That is the only reason I know who Stephen Merchant is, because he did the one skit with Halle Berry. That shit was hilarious.
Then
see, I knew Stephen Merchant because of that fucking show. And then after that, that's when I started seeing him in things. I was like, oh, he's actually
he jacked me with the ball chin. You put it on the baby head.
Put it in the soup.
Yep.
It's just so
that movie was just so
like
random.
What would you do if that actually happened?
That movie had the most it had the most faces though.
Right?
It was literally the movie version of. It was like a production Hollywood level version of the bullshit like meme things that they put together on YouTube.
It was like, yo, let's just like get this bag, put everyone's name in Hollywood in it, just grab it, boom, oh yeah, we doing this movie.
Throw it against the wall, whoever's names are closest together. We're gonna be in a skit together.
Oh,
who was he with?
No, they did. Who
was the chick who was reacting?
Winslet.
Was it Kate Winslet? That's fucking.
You know what they did? They got all the names right. They put it in a confetti bag. They threw the confetti bag up. They just threw ninja stars, whichever one's pinned to the wall. That's what they used.
They had Storm Shadow.
Fucking
the
one with Hugh Jackman and Kate Winslet had me cracking up. The fact they even had Common in there, with Seth MacFarlane, I was like, bruh, this is they're getting everybody in this. Chris Pratt, while he was in the midst of filming Guardians of the Galaxy, was in there.
Yeah, because he was buff at that point.
Yeah.
And he was still married to what's her name?
Anna Faris.
Yeah, which I didn't know that they were married up until 2 days ago.
Until someone said something about it. Yeah.
I was like, oh, I didn't know he was dating her.
And he got divorced.
Had 2 kids.
I think so. Yeah. Because I remember the playground insults thing with him and what's her name, and she said, "Your son." She's like, "You're so dumb. Your 3-year-old son probably taught you everything you know."
Wow.
Yeah, it was fucked up. People were saying that the two of them were together, which I'm like, why? Because they had a sex scene in the movie they were in. What were they in together? They were in a movie where it was literally like
Wally?
No, him, Chris Pratt, and Jennifer Lawrence were in a movie together.
Passengers.
Yeah.
And they did sleep with each other.
Yeah, they had a sex scene.
No. Like, they actually slept together. And that's why he's not married, apparently.
Ooh. That's hilarious, though, because that was my favorite ending to any of the playground insults, because she's like, during our sex, or he's like, she said, before our sex scene, I had to take Pepto-Bismol, or something like that. He's like, okay, during our sex scene, I felt your dick rubbing into me. And she just lost at that point. She was laughing too hard. It was fucking hilarious. Those are funny. They need to do more of those.
That reminds me of when she was on Graham Norton with it was her, it was McAvoy, and it was a couple other people, and they were telling the story, and she started crying. She was laughing so hard. It was just hilarious. She couldn't contain it.
She gets the weirdest fucking look on her face when she laughs too hard.
It was I think Obi-Wan Kenobi.
She can't breathe. Like she goes like.
I think Obi-Wan Kenobi was in that interview.
Probably. Because
I think he was. I think it was for when he was doing the Beauty and the Beast.
What is his name? Ewan McGregor.
Yeah. Because I think he was Gaston.
I'm saying Gestad. No, Gestad is the name of the place. Gaston.
Yeah, he was that guy.
Yeah.
So I remember he said that. I'm pretty sure that was him.
Shit.
Don't quote me on it. My memory's terrible, but I think it was him. And I remember he was saying he had to do a French accent, and he's married to a French woman, so he was like, "Of course I can do a French accent." And then he tried to do a French accent, and it came out like Spanish or something like that.
Wow. That's like I wonder I wonder if John Krasinski can do a British accent because he's married to Emily Blunt, and they're in like a constant fight to see like how their kids are gonna turn out.
Who is that?
John Krasinski's
The Office.
He's the dude from The Office. He's
the one who messes with Dwight all the time.
I saw a dude dressed as Dwight last night when I was working. I rolled down my window. I was like, Dwight, you ignorant slut. This shit was great. Yeah, he plays Jim. They're looking at him and her to be Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic.
Yep. He's also in, I haven't watched it, but
I think they can pull that off.
Basically Ghost Recon for nerds.
Yeah, he's in that, is it like Amazon that's doing that movie?
I think so.
That series?
Jack Reacher or something.
It's Tom Clancy's something, I'm pretty sure.
Something like that.
I think it's Jack Reacher.
No, Jack Reacher's Tom Cruise stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, Jack Reacher is Tom Cruise. I heard they might be getting a show, or it might be getting a show.
They might.
So that might be what you're thinking of, but his thing is a little different though. I know what you're talking about, Joe, but his thing is a little different.
Now I got another name of it now.
Yeah. Word, because Tom Clancy's titles are so.
Yeah, he bulked up for that role too. He bulked up for that role.
Isn't Tom Clancy dead? How many things are they gonna take from this motherfucker to use to make video games and movies and shit? Who the fuck gets that money? That's what I want to know. Because Rainbow Six alone should have gotten him like bank. Shit's crazy.
What happened?
Share with the class.
So, fucking
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan. Close enough. You were like literally Jack R.
Yo, but Bowser, you are a bitch.
How is have they like balanced anything in that game or changed anything since they put it out? The Mario
they added
Kart?
more characters.
Who did they add?
They added stages.
Who did they add? They added like Rosalina, right? And Baby Rosalina.
I got both.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me go to the roster. Come on, hurry up.
It's always when you need it to do it.
I just finished the race. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, so
Daddy wanted to get this headshot. Oh yeah, 15 bitches.
Yeah. All right, so they now have.
That's how you decide how many swords you're gonna buy in a month.
Just roll to see if you're gonna get out of the chair.
Like, how many swords am I buying this month?
So they already had like maybe 12 characters,
Uh-huh.
and now it's more than double, like a little more than double that.
Oh.
So
Nice.
There's Baby Mario, Baby Peach, Baby Daisy, Baby Rosalina, Baby Luigi, who actually I got before I got Baby Rosalina. Baby Luigi.
Actually, what's the name's coming out? I think you just reminded me. Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah.
We're gonna be playing it at Jake and Yui's spot on Friday.
Cool. Koopa Troopa, Shy Guy, Dry Bones, Iggy, Larry, Bowser's kids, basically.
Bowser's kids, like Bebe's kids.
1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, there's 7 of them. So
can we talk how that's highly underrated for a movie?
Baby's kids was
that's a dope roster so far.
Mario, Peach, Yoshi, Daisy, Toad, Toadette, Rosalina, Luigi, Bowser, DK, Diddy Kong.
Not to be confused with Diddy Combs.
Like you do? The Cloud Turtle dude?
Yeah.
Who's surprisingly enough is a playable character. Wario, Waluigi, King Boo, Metal Mario, Peachette, whoever the fuck she is still.
Peachette, yeah.
Pauline, Mario, the musician,
Peach
like in a kimono, Mario in a hakama, Rosalina, Halloween version, Dry Bones, Dry Bowser. Looks cool as shit.
That nigga needs lotion. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. And King Boo from Luigi's Mansion.
No Chomp Chomps?
Nope. Chain Chomps are more of a environmental. Just like the Piranha Plants.
But you can use Piranha Plant in Smash.
True. Very true.
Black do.
And isn't Chain Chomp like a support character in Smash?
I think so, yeah. It's either one of the trophies or...
You know, it's been so long since we played that.
It has been.
Off.
Smash.
Open Gangnam Style.
It's been a long time since you played, Justin, in Azuma 11. You can finally defeat the Indian kid.
First of all,
you see, he had to like let me calm myself.
Fuck that little girl and her purple ass hair.
Wait, what?
Fuck her.
Okay, I think he doesn't mean what you guys are thinking he means, right? What he means is that he's upset.
I fucking hate that child.
Exactly.
Wait,
not as fuck her, as in like
fuck that child.
But you know,
I'm not helping. Nah, for real though, she blocked a shot that I was literally like this fucking close. And my character pulled back his fucking leg to kick the goddamn ball, and this bitch wants to enact some bullshit with her goddamn teammates where it's locked me to fucking... Okay. The way that the game does like blocking and shit with in Azuma 11. And it's soccer. So the way that it enacts the Hisatsu level blocks where they're like shit happens, you can't stop it, is depending on how many characters it needs. If it needs 3, it usually has to trap you in like a triangle or some shit. And then once that pops up, you're done. You're fucking done. So this bitch, I'm literally drawing back my leg to kick it into the fucking goal, and the goalie's not there, and I'm like, and then this bitch just runs in front of me like, no! Ha! I'm like, fuck! Shit! Ooh, Sonic! Ooh, Sonic! Literally, that was me. I was like, and that's why I can't record in Carl's house anymore. So I don't piss off his mom like that.
You could record at Carl's house, just not when it's on his own.
But she always pops in randomly. No one knows her schedule. She just pops in randomly, and then she's like, "Hey, CJ!" She's like knocking on the door. CJ, I got coconut. I'm like, Mom, that's great. But like, God, Gordon. And then she just keeps knocking on the door. She's like Joe that day. Only worse because she actually can't hear. I'm still convinced you did that on purpose.
Well, you now have the recording sign. So.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I was gonna get like a
if you had a visual,
the fuck up.
But I was like,
or if you had actually said something.
I need to land. I yelled twice. You can see the video. I yelled twice. First I said occupied, and then I said we're recording.
Occupied? Where were you? In the bathroom?
No, I was in my room.
I know. Occupied is generally only used when
I know. I can't.
when he actually said something, which I heard him say we're recording, and I was like, oh well, then I walked away.
After knocking like 3 times.
Well, maybe if you say something loud enough the first time.
I said occupied, then I said recording, and I said recording. And when I yelled it, that's when you were like,
so now you admitted the fact that you didn't yell it the first time, so I wasn't going to hear it the first.
Bro, you can hear everything through those doors. What are you talking about?
No, you cannot.
Yes, you can. I can hear their TVs and stuff from my room through both of those doors. That's why my TV stays on like level 11 when I go to sleep, so I don't wake anybody up. Anyway, so
you gotta bring over Inazuma 11 for you.
Yes, we gotta show Joe why I hate that little girl, and also why I hate that big ass motherfucking Native American looking motherfucker.
Wow. So now you're just gonna go after.
We gotta record it too.
What, my own people, because I am Native American partially.
Ancestry.com, yeah.
And that's how they get you.
Yep.
That's why a friend of mine did it the other day, and I was so upset because I'm sitting there like I can't do it.
Like, what happens when they decide to clone you?
2% Nigerian, so what the fuck? Or he, excuse me, sorry Hayden, sorry, he.
Oh,
he. Shit. Because I've known him since.
Now we got the whole LGBTQ coming out.
Middle school.
Because
a friend of mine, I misgendered my friend, and I am very sorry.
It is sir.
I know you want to joke, but I'm being serious right now. It was an accident, and I apologize. It's fucked up. See that? Now I look like the good guy. Now you look like a dick. I was using that before when I was for my back. Put the tennis ball on the wall and then kind of like move it around. Feels good.
Ugh. Just have Joe hit you with the 6-4 divine strike.
See, Joe's hands are too big, so he probably like knocked discs out of my fucking eye. You got nothing to say.
Well, I'm kind of sad now.
Why? You're sad? Because you can't be a chiropractor?
I'm sorry.
What happened?
Sorry. Trigger words. It's just me being a bitch. Don't worry about it.
Oh, so it's not chiropractor. I said chiropractor, and I was like, oh shit. And then, yeah. So, apparently, WB has heard me screaming from the rooftops. Because apparently they are looking at Michael Keaton to do a Batman Beyond movie. Which I have been talking about for literally 3 motherfucking years. Thank you, WB. I better get a goddamn producer credit.
Granted, there's probably like a ton of like other people, like a bunch of other people who are also talking about it.
Yes.
As well. So not just you.
It's not
but
just
do they have
me,
recordings though?
Yes, exactly.
He wants to take credit for what the entire internet had
Negro,
did.
really? I have been putting that in every single group that I have been a part of.
Did you make a meme?
Yes.
Where is the meme? Show me the receipt.
In the fucking...
Show me the receipt.
God damn, now I gotta what?
Proof or didn't happen.
Big or didn't happen.
I'm gonna have to go
Meme or
through...
didn't happen.
I'm gonna have to go through like all of everything in that fucking group.
How do you have to go through all of everything? You had to have had a meme creator. It had to be saved on your computer or phone.
That was like 4 phones ago.
Yeah,
When I tell you this is years ago that I first called that, I was like, they should do that. I've been saying that for a dumb long time.
I got stuff from you.
First I said it on Twitter, then I said it on a buttload of other stuff.
Yeah, his phones tend to like...
My phones don't last past a year.
Yeah. Remember that time you ricocheted your phone into a glass of water?
That was fucking... I don't even fucking know how that happened. It was it's the perfect size to land in the water if you drop it in perfectly. Like normally. So how the fuck... It just bounced off the thing, and I just had to clap. I was like,
can't be mad at it.
That's fucking perfect entry.
It's like pain.
It's like pain. So now that this movie is actually going to happen, hopefully,
are we going to get the? I was going to say, are they going to get the Twilight dude to be Terry?
It's not going to happen.
You think so?
Yeah, I fully believe that it's not going to happen.
Why not?
Because I want it to happen, so I have to believe it's not going to happen, so it will happen.
I do the same. I do that all the time. Because that's how the universe works for me. I know. My mom is like, oh, you're so negative. You're such a pessimist. I'm sitting there like, am I a pessimist? Or do I realize how the universe works for me? And I know I can't want things. Because if I want things, they will come to me. Certain things.
Your favorite anime characters, they always get got.
You gotta trick the desire sense.
I need both you and Devon to just be massively negative towards the lotto. And then, you know...
He keeps thinking that... Devon's magic might be able to do the whole lottery thing. I know I can.
I don't know what you're talking about. That is a lie.
I don't know. I know I can. I'm a psychic. That has nothing to do with lottery numbers.
What's your element? What's your zodiac sign?
Technically, with the elements, I'm trans elemental.
What the fuck is your zodiac sign?
Because my inside
what
element
is your zodiac
fire
sign?
I'm dead ass though. I took a quiz one time. They were like, "What is your spirit? But what is your actual element?" The spirit is fire, but the element, like my bending element, would actually be earth. In terms of my zodiac sign,
right? He's completely avoiding my question,
which I was about to say. Yo, shut the fuck up. My zodiac sign is Libra.
Trans ass motherfucker.
Balancing the scales. Wow, really?
You want to say you're trans elemental?
Now here's the thing. top tier for like the psychic abilities and everything. It's actually Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. So it's the water signs first, and then I believe it might be the air signs, but it's definitely water.
Okay, that's why I can't control it.
Scorpio.
That's why I can't control it.
Water.
Just get 'em.
I'm the least, if I remember correctly.
Oh, you remember the random prediction I made for
He's
Shadow? If that happens.
Wait, what?
If that happens. I made a swing for the stand, and I was like, Shadow's gonna marry a Native American woman. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. But if it does, you're gonna sit there at that altar. You're gonna be like,
it's not something terrible.
I'm gonna be standing in the back, like I'm gonna have to crash that wedding because I'm gonna be standing in the back, like my fucking sign, like, bitch, you married one.
Honestly,
you're gonna do that. You're gonna be in like the front row doing the.
You gotta come
doing
like
the haka. I'm gonna do a haka.
You gotta come in like a JoJo character. You gotta.
Or like
Jack, or they're gonna be like Jack Nicholson. It's like, say I do. He's gonna be like.
You're gonna be sitting in the back of that too.
So like, if I do end up getting married, you wouldn't have to crash the wedding because you would be there, you'd be invited and everything.
I'm happy.
And it would, of course, it would be a fucking cosplay wedding. Got to.
So
You gonna allow this opening motherfucker to be up there?
Wow!
I can't go full ruck.
It's just like
They might not be invited though.
I'm surprised that like who Ruckus's voice actor is. Because I always forget, and then I always like look.
Isn't that bald black dude
from Malcolm in the Middle?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was.
He's
the
kid's dad.
Stevie's dad. Yeah.
Is it Stevie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was I like Malcolm in the Middle. That show was
good.
Why can't you?
I just can't. Because I get. Sometimes you get an idea of how an actor is based on like the roles that they take. And
he had that role for a long time.
He had that role for a very long time.
He wasn't in a super lot of episodes, but he was in that role for
like a
really
lot of him
time.
bled into that character, so that's how I feel about like he is a lot like that.
Oh, so it's like with me how I feel about Aziz Ansari.
Yeah, kind of.
Because the only other roles I think
personally don't like Aziz. Wait, do you?
I don't. It's just it's only because of his role in Parks and Rec.
Damn.
And it's
annoying and whiny in that.
He and his voice is just like that. I thought he was like making him. Oh, good God! But he wasn't like
His
that.
message will self-destruct in 30 seconds.
He wasn't like that, but he just became that character just because it was his biggest role, and now he's just an annoying asshole. And it's like, I need for you not to be like this.
I was actually gonna say Uncle Ruckus' voice actor. The only other thing I can think of him off the top of my head that he's been in is Soul Plane.
Yeah, because he was one of the
flight attendants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, he wasn't something else. I just can't place it right now.
I'm gonna share that.
He was also a Hiron Kumar.
He was.
Yeah.
Which one?
First one.
Okay. Yes, he was. Wasn't he a cop?
No, he was in jail though. After they arrested Hiron Kumar for jail.
Actually, what's the name has a surprising lot of faces too. Now think about it. Hiron Kumar movies, they have a lot of faces.
Why are you in jail?
Because I was being black and
yeah.
He has a weapon. That is my penis.
And Anthony Anderson was the guy in the other burger place.
Yeah. So we burned this down.
It's just mad funny. Has anyone here actually had White? Because I know I don't have White Castles out here. Has anyone had White Castle?
I have. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
Wait, like
White Castle.
Like
fresh
straight
or
from the restaurant?
Okay.
Oh no, I've had like the little tiny burger things.
I've had it straight from the restaurant, but it was really, really, really long time ago.
White Castle's mad good.
The only thing I remember about it is that they have like little onion squares.
Oh yeah. They cook all the stuff on like a bed of onions.
White Castle and In-N-Out Burger are two restaurants I don't understand the hype for.
I've never had In-N-Out Burger, actually.
I've never had that one either.
Have either of you been to California? It's the only place you're going to get into it.
I mean, we live in California.
How the fuck do you live in California? We are in California.
Damn it, now they know we're in Texas.
It could have been Tennessee.
Toronto.
They don't know. All they got was
I could have sworn we covered this in the last podcast that we were in the teleporting house. Going from place to place.
You know what that's reminded me of? You haven't seen it yet, but Baba Yaga.
Oh my God, no. No, we're not in that house. No. No! God, no!
Yeah, the new Hellboy Baba Yaga's in it. Yeah.
She's in I guess that's part of her lore actually too. She's in a house that has like chicken legs that like walks.
And she can just make portals. Like, I want Joe to come to my house, and she'll just open a portal, then you'll walk through a door and be in her house.
Yeah.
So kind of like a Howl's Moving Castle type thing.
Or like the Sender from Martin Mystery.
Yeah.
Which I've been watching again.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Joe, if you watch it, don't eat before you watch it. Because that one scene with Baba Yaga.
The fingers. In the
I
suit.
wasn't talking about I was talking about when they made the deal.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a weak constitution like that.
Seal it with a kiss. I'm not gonna do that to you. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. Let's move away from this and talk about Little Man Loves a Pig. Apparently, characters that they used in all the Marvel stuff that they were making like TV shows for on Netflix.
Why?
What? Apparently, they're just gonna end up in MCU at some point.
Yeah.
So
I heard they were canceling all the TV stuff.
So the Punisher, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil might act like those actors, like John Bernthal, Kristen Ritter, and Charlie Cox, I think his name. They could show up in future Marvel stuff, like in MCU stuff. Which I know they kept trying to, like at first they were like, yeah, they're in the MCU, yeah, we're gonna reference the incident and this and that third. And as they kind of moved on, they tried to go kind of away from it. But I guess they're just gonna put them in the main Marvel universe. Like I even heard that he might, like Daredevil might represent Spider-Man at some point. Like he might show up in a Spider-Man movie or something like that. Or
that happens in the comics and stuff, so that would be cool.
Everybody's lawyer. Oh, they're doing a She-Hulk TV show too.
Yeah, I heard they were doing She-Hulk. I heard Silk, and I heard
that'll be interesting.
Camilla Khan, Miss Marvel.
The fuck y'all kikiing about?
I want a cuckoo.
I like to laugh.
Now you know why I got.
I'm trying to think. Oh, I saw some trailers for. I didn't watch it, but Outer Worlds.
Where is that? Buy it.
There's a hot sauce called Shit the Bed.
I'm gonna buy that.
Sprinkle it on Jake's pizza next time.
But because of the song you were singing, the movie title came into my head, and
what is that? I can't see what the picture is.
No.
Wow.
I thought you were showing me this picture up here.
No, that's why I just kept playing.
My eyes went straight to the colors.
Ooh, pretty colors.
Hi, Kevin.
I like Kevin.
Hi,
Yeah, you know?
Kevin. Yeah, so they'll show up in future MCU stuff. Who knows? Whatever. Bad news for anybody who liked Last of Us.
Why are you looking at me when you said that?
I'm just looking around at everybody. I looked at him, and then you.
I'm trying to think.
Last of Us is delayed until spring 2020.
Oh no!
Hinata's nose looks weird. Huh? Hinata's nose looks weird.
Is Last of Us the show with
Oh, it's not a show. It's video game.
Oh.
Remember the
Fungus Among Us.
Yeah.
Okay.
They call the zombies.
When you said Last of Us, it made me think of that TV show that's going on right now. It has the guy who played Michael B. Jordan's dad in Black Panther.
Really?
The T'Challa's uncle.
I can't remember what the fuck that guy's name is.
But he's in it, and then
Gordon,
the guy who played Green Arrow and Smallville, he's in it. I thought you were talking about that show.
Something good, something.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that was.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind. I don't know why.
No, I'm saying
there was a show with
what was the name?
as I go back to it, it literally just popped. Like it's right here.
What's his name?
What's that?
I think I know someone that he posted in the group.
There's a show with Sean Spencer. Can't think of his name right now.
James Roday.
Yeah, there's a show with James Roday. I don't know if it came out yet or not, but it looks deep, kind of. Like it seems like.
Oh yeah, that no.
Is it out?
Fuck. I can't remember.
It's like them and they're our friends.
Yeah, and their friend died or something like that.
Yeah.
That was a while ago. That already started, I think.
I was gonna say I might have to watch it because
who's that?
Mr. Roday.
Milk slut.
It's because of the piercing in the eyes.
What, you think you recognize her? Ooh,
like piercing in the eyes?
No, piercings and the eyes.
I mean, people are into some weird.
I got my eyeballs pierced.
She is white, so you never know.
I got my eyeballs pierced because that's the cool thing,
So I got
honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I have thought about getting like my eyes tattooed before, like
the white part.
Yeah. Tattooed.
I have a question for you guys. How do you are forked tongues a turnoff, or are they like neutral, or are they a plus?
I actually find it like very, very interesting. So it's a plus for me.
Have you ever made out with a chick who had a forked tongue?
Nope. Would I like to?
Have you ever been a head thief for a woman who has forked tongue?
I'm not a head thief.
What about you, Joe? Forked tongues? Yay or nay?
I was about to say, wait a minute.
Actually, one of my favorite Suicide Girls has a split tongue.
Oh yeah.
I have met only one person with a split tongue. No, I have not made out or anything with said person. Was curious about it, so I guess I'm neutral.
Neutral, okay.
I am also neutral, I guess.
I was just
being curious about it.
Yeah, because I remember what you were telling me, and I was like, I wonder how their stance on forked tongues.
Yeah, because I saw a chick.
See, I always feel like you can't. If anyone says that if you're curious about it, then you're for it. And I was like, no, that's just a neutral stance on it. You have yet to.
I don't hate it or like it because I haven't experienced it.
Not enough information.
Yeah. Which saying that, I will say for all of you people who try to say, well, you haven't tried it yet, you should try it just to see if you like it or not. Stop that argument. That's not.
Get some help.
See, for those kind of people, that's the same. Like, that there's a group of people who go around.
Wait, how would you know if you're gay? You don't even know if you're gay because you've never had butt sex with a man before. I'm like, pretty sure I don't need to go that far.
I was gonna say, I'm not. There's those people who do like the thrill seeker people who like go out and they'll hire people to kidnap them. It's like other people don't want that experience. Just you know what I mean? It's like you can stay over there and do that with.
There's a whole ass haunted house where they'll apparently pay you like $2,000 to make it through it, but they're doing like crazy shit to you. They're like pulling your hair and like actually almost kind of doing things that are like torture.
If I go to a place like that and they pull my like. If they pull my hair, fine. But hair, if I feel my hair coming out, throwing fists.
So now, Joe, what if the
Donkey Kong punch me?
He's not thought about. I was gonna say, what if they're doing that kind of torture that they was trying to have put Belle on Belle with the big frog lady? Because she had that man like that. She had that man pinned up against the wall.
Don't get how
she was getting aphrodisiacs and stuff prepared.
Word. I don't even get how
I think she like mind breaks him.
Feels it's not hard to mind break someone with torture. It's very easy.
Also, she's basically a giant frog person.
Like actual like knife in the penis torture.
The fuck?
There's this one Amazon who
watch
it's a good show. Yeah.
What do you call it?
Yeah.
Is there a Purple Girl in the Dungeon Season 2? There's this one Amazon who thinks she's the baddest Amazon around. She's the baddest chick around.
Is that what you were talking about?
That's what we were talking about. Where you can cosplay as the one dude who kills her.
Yeah.
The dude who that nigga literally looks like Soul Bad Guy from fucking Guilty Gear. Like they literally just even the red like headband thing that they have on. I'm like, bruh, they just stole his character design and just kind of watered it down a little bit and gave it to that guy. Kind of fucked up.
But when they're all Amazons, so you know how the Amazons, they do whatever they want to dudes and yada yada yada. So anyways, whenever she uses a guy, they become unusable. And she tried to use Belle.
Oh, you talking about
talking
about the Enemy with the Gods?
Yeah.
Is it wrong to pick up a girl in the dungeon?
Yeah.
Yeah, they try to get Belle, and they try to really get this man, and then the biggest, most the big mom version of them caught Belle.
I felt like if I didn't get away, I was gonna be different.
Don't they say she looks like a toad too?
Yeah, they like the other Amazon straight up called. Yeah, she has the slit eyes and everything. She's mad big though.
And then she had the nerve to say she was prettier than a goddess, and it's just like
no,
my dude crushed her for that.
He whack-a-moed her.
Blasphemy.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn. Whole head is crushed in. That was fucked up.
Yep. She got mad offended when Belle didn't get.
Yeah.
Like she grabbed his junk and everything. She got offended. She was like, "How dare you?"
Yeah, she was weird.
It's always funny in anime. It always be the ugly ones and be like, "Oh, I'm the baddest bitch around. But like, I mean, you're the baddest looking.
I mean, we not gonna pretend like that's not real life too. That chick with the beaver teeth probably thinks she's Beyonce. That was fucking terrible. I felt so much guilt after that. I was like, ugh.
Yeah. See, this is when Javi would chime in and say, "Yeah, with big girls who wear crop top
shirts." Because he's ooh.
Yeah, we know this dude who bad teeth are a turn off for him, and even like teeth that aren't all that bad. Anybody. Well, there's it's interesting though because I've seen some of the girls that he like doesn't find attractive because of their teeth, and their teeth aren't that bad.
And this nigga is not necessarily a dentist himself, so his teeth they don't like.
Wait. Is this like the equivalent of ugly motherfucker calling another chick ugly and only trying to go for pretty women?
I haven't seen him in a while, so I don't remember how his teeth were. But like,
why shouldn't call us after this?
Probably. Because I remember.
It's like someone like me saying I can't go for someone who has like fucked up teeth.
Because I was gonna say I remember
how Jake was lobbying against the hate on the British people with the teeth. Like nigga, we have TV now. It's in black and white.
Funny enough, as you said,
or it's not in black and white.
Sorry.
Wow. Wait. Show Carl that dog. Doesn't that dog look like the actor who plays Foggy in Daredevil? A little bit. It's fucked up.
It's ridiculous.
But we're watching. Was it Shanghai Nights or Shanghai Noon when they go to Britain?
Shanghai
Nights.
Okay, you know the scene where they're in like that market kind of area. And
I was gonna say sex, no, dude. Yes, I remember that fun thing.
You know when can't think of his name right now, the white guy.
Owen.
Yeah, Owen Wilson. When he's talking to the girl, he's like, "Oh, you pretty and everything." She smiles, and he's like, That's kind of how like Javami on that type of stuff. But it's hilarious though.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
But he alright people though.
Shit.
He's cool people.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
But see, everyone has like a weird thing that they just can't deal with.
Also, he can't spot big butts.
I know. Yo, is booty auto target like a skill? Cause lately when when I drive, like for work and stuff, I'll like turn and somehow I'm just always like when I stop turning, face like a booty. I think I might have like some kind of booty auto target.
Or you're a perv.
How does it? But that's not me doing it. How am I a perv? But I don't know how I the perv. How I the perv when my body's the one doing it. I feel like JT at a con. I'm just along for the ride. My body's just doing shit.
Oh man,
booty auto target.
See, that's when you know is very much deep within your subconscious. You're trying like to act like you're not, and your body's like, no, you are this.
Don't run from your truth.
Exactly.
Don't you run from me. Don't you run from me. Don't you run. Alright, so Wesley Snipes.
Oh boy.
Back in jail. No, let me not say that.
Actually, I know.
Let me not speak that on him. But he might be playing Dracula in the new Blade movie. Yeah.
Huh. How would that?
I don't know.
They just made Dracula mad broken, apparently.
I mean, like he actually
they're supposed to.
So he actually fought Dracula.
Yeah, in the third one.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Mahershala Ali's been lobbying to be Blade. So
no, I think they got
Mahershala is
he's going.
No, I'm saying like he's going to be Blade, so that's why Wesley Snipes isn't going to be the Blade.
Yeah, Method Man's the one that's still lobbying for like Bishop and stuff,
which would be cool.
Yeah, I think like, he was saying that Idris Elba might be better for Blue Marvel or might be better for Bishop, but I think Idris would be better for Blue Marvel.
The only thing for me with Blue Marvel is just that I don't know how they would work him in.
I was telling him that too. I'm like, he's too strong. And with Tony not there, I mean, how are you going to stop? Who's going to stop him?
Yeah.
I guess maybe if you introduce Mr. Fantastic, he could do it. Mr. Fantastic is like he's up there with the intelligence.
Yeah.
He's always top 5.
Yeah, he's a one button character with preparation.
Yeah. Like, his powers are stupid, but he's well known across the universe for being so smart.
Alright, that reminds me of, I don't know why, but there was this episode of House where this dude was a genius, he was an engineer, but he couldn't really handle the pressures of being a genius. So he would take like drugs or something to dumb himself down, and then he would take he would drink alcohol to balance out the drugs so it wouldn't do any permanent damage. And he married this lady while he was in like a dumbed down state, and so he keeps himself in a dumbed down state because that's the only way he can like communicate with her and stuff. Because when he's in his normal state, he kind of finds her annoying and stuff because like she's dumb. Like it was interesting. It's kind of like when someone's highly intelligent talking to normal people, and it's like, I can't, you know what I mean?
I mean, there's plenty of dumb people who are really nice.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. She's really nice and everything, but he can't like handle the back and forth.
Kind of like that girl from Family Guy that Brian's with.
Mm-hmm. Like he just
Jillian.
Yeah, she's dumb as fuck.
Yeah, he can't handle the back and forth with her, but he loves her. He's in love with her, but he can't handle the back and forth when he's in his normal, you know. I'm like drawing on a napkin and I'm making like art reactors and stuff. Like,
word. Have you guys ever noticed that the moon and the sun, you never see them at the same time? It's because they're the same person. Exactly. It's like fucking. Oh my god. Yeah. So Wesley Snipes as Dracula is gonna be weird, but hopefully he'll, he'll make it good.
Yeah. All they gotta do, they just gotta make sure they beef him up, because a hero is only as good as the epicness of the villain, so they gotta go hard with it.
Yeah. It's gonna be weird because it's gonna be Blade versus Blade.
You think when him and Mahershala start fighting and he start biting Mahershala, he gonna look at him and be like, "Why are you trying to skate uphill?"
Bigger. That'd be great.
Look at this day walking trying to skate uphill. I wonder if they're gonna have him talk normal, or if they're gonna try to have him talk with an accent, because usually the Dracula characters are like mad old from the old country. They usually have an accent. I'm curious if they're
Transylvania or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm curious if they're gonna have him go that route. I don't know.
Not
always, but in some movies they go that route.
For Blade, they didn't have an accent.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. For Blade, for that Blade, they didn't. But I'm curious if they're going to try to go that accent for this.
Who played Dracula in the original Blade?
Prison Break dude.
Was it Rory? For the dude from Prison Break?
Yeah. The Heatwave.
Yeah, Rory. That's his name. That's all his name. Remember that name.
Yeah. He's a pretty big dude too. Like physically built.
Big-ass motherfucker.
Like he's pretty solid. I can't tell how tall he is. But he's got to be close. He got to be in the 6 foot range.
It's hard to tell because the dude that he's always partnered with, the other Prison Break dude, is I don't know how tall he is. Because he could be one of those thin and he's be like lanky and tall. Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah.
He was also in I think he was the same actor. There was this show a long, long time ago called John Q. Or not John Q. John Doe. I think he was the lead in that.
I do remember that. Yeah.
I like that show, but it got canceled. And I'm like, but I want an ending.
Wasn't that Fox?
I think so.
Yeah, they cancel shit all the fucking time. They're ridiculous.
At least give it a semi-ending. It's like, hey, we're leading up to this thing, and we're just gonna cancel. Like, no, give me 2 more episodes so I can just finish it.
Yeah, they cancel good shows too early, and they have good shows that they let them keep going and everything like that, but then they let them go too long. Yeah. Like House was a little bit too long.
I'm trying to think, did what's name have an ending? Dark Angel? Because I like that one too, Jessica Alba. That was the first thing I ever saw her in.
I can't remember.
I don't remember if it had an ending or not. I know it had a few seasons because it went from, hey, genetically modified super soldiers versus selective breeding super soldiers. And it got crazy. So it was like, hey, we're fighting the government organization that made us. Then it's like, hey, we're fighting this other organization, this secret society. Then like, oh, the world knows about us, and start going back. What's name is in that? Dean.
Jensen Ackles.
Yep, he was in Dark Angel, and I think what's the name? The guy who plays the Blob in the Wolverine. Or in
I never remember that guy's name, and he's in so many things. Like, remember he was in Real Steel?
Yep.
He was the guy who called. Yeah. He called Anthony Mackie homeboy one too many times. Afterwards, they had to escort him out. Like, oh, I think you owe us some money, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was in. He had like prosthetics on. I'm pretty sure it was him because like the way he talks and his like mannerisms is it looks like the same guy.
My dude is always a dick in everything they put him in.
See, it's actually interesting. In that movie, he was like how like Beast is, and like you know how Beast, he's like the bigger guy, but he's real like smart. like not in terms of being smart, but he's like soft spoken and he's nice to everybody. That's how he was because he was a big he was one of the super soldiers that was mixed with animals, so he was like part dog. And he was mad big, like he's mad big, so but he's nice to everyone. He doesn't even like fighting, but he got hands though because he's Joe size.
Because I remember him. I remember him being in 310 to Yuma with Christian Bale and Russell Crowe, and he was one of those dudes that
he does play the dick a lot though.
Yeah, like he
was in Walking Talk.
He literally antagonized Russell Crowe so much to the point where like they were trying to get Russell Crowe like to a certain train or whatever this and third so they could take him to a jail. But he had Christian Bale had a couple dudes and his son with him that went with them to try to do this, and this guy antagonized Russell Crowe so fucking much that they woke up in the middle of the night. Russell Crowe's choking him out. They had no fucking idea this dude was getting murdered next to them. And it's just like, oh shit, get him fuck up. They pulled him off. This motherfucker's already dead. I'm like, because he strangled him with his because they have Russell Crowe like chained the whole time. He just strangled him with the fucking chain. I was like.
Yeah, he was in Walking Tall. He was in a hockey movie too.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
he shows up in a lot of stuff. Yeah, he was in Walking Tall because he was the one who got hit in the face with the thing first.
He was the one that they ripped his car or his truck apart. That was a nice truck. They destroyed that. They annihilated that truck.
Yeah, they did things to that truck. They violated that truck.
What's the name was in that too? If you ever watch NCIS, Tony. Yeah, it was the actor who plays Tony. I can't think of his name right now, but he was in Dark Angel.
This was a Fox show?
I don't remember. I think it was Fox, but it might have been on something else. I have to go back and check. Because it was also a really long time ago. I think it might have been Fox. I'm not 100% sure. So, basically, I also heard that Vin Diesel might become Black Bolt. Because apparently because apparently they're gonna redo Inhumans, so they're actually going to try to put it in like someone's. I think it might be Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. They might try to put. Yeah, because I think is she an Inhuman, or is she a mutant?
Don't get me wrong.
Well, I think stuff. I think she's an Inhuman because there was an animated series with like the Young Avengers, the New Avengers, and it was Kamala Khan. It was Squirrel Girl. I think Gwen and Captain America, Patriot, and Captain Marvel, they're all in it. And I remember she said that like she got encased in the stone and then she came out different.
Oh, yeah.
So I think at least in the newer stuff, I think she's an Inhuman. I don't know about the older stuff.
I'll look that up later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently they're going to try to redo Inhumans again. Which that TV show thing that they did was terrible.
I don't know what that is.
Inhumans are, they're kind of like the X-Men, only they were unsuccessful. Because everybody already loves the X-Men. I can't remember when they, I think they debuted with Fantastic Four, possibly. Like in a Fantastic Four comic, maybe? I can't remember.
I'm trying to think of like the famous Inhumans besides Black Bolt and Medusa.
There are none.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say because there's like Black Bolt, Medusa, and his squad, and then that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna try to help fill it in for Joe, but those is like Black Bolt. There's Medusa. There's Karnak. There's
the dog Lockjaw or whatever.
Oh yeah, Lockjaw. There's a
teleporting dog.
What about Ermac?
Ermac? No. Ermac is Mortal Kombat, I believe.
Darn.
Just throw it into the board and see if it sticks.
That's how I used to play when I played Mortal Kombat. I play Ermac and I play Raiden. Because Raiden's controls are the same from the old games. And then Ermac, he's basically like Cervantes to me when it comes to Mortal Kombat. So I play Cervantes and Ermac.
I had heard that they put Joker into the newest Mortal Kombat instead of putting like a normal, like lately they've been putting in like horror characters like Ash, and you got Jason, Freddy, and everything like that. And this is the first time in a while that they haven't done that. So
I'm not surprised they're doing Joker because I think the people who do Mortal Kombat also did the Injustice games.
They did. So, that's why they still had the license for it. But people are just surprised because they're like, why? Joker's not like a horror thing, but I don't know. It's probably for the buzz for the movie or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, well, it's still fresh in my mind. You ever heard of Bloodshot?
Bloodshot.
It's a comic, and I think for the miniseries they had Jason David Frank be Bloodshot. For the movie, they're gonna have Vin Diesel do it.
Ooh.
When you said Vin Diesel, it reminded me about that.
Yeah, Vin Diesel needs more work because that fucking.
I thought he was doing something.
Them Fast and Furious checks ain't coming. Not coming as fast.
He's in something that's coming up.
It might be Bloodshot. That's might be what you're thinking of. I don't know how it's gonna work because I don't know his character's powers or anything, but I know he's like really pale and he has like a red like bullet hole right there, or like a
comic book character.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a comic book character.
Is he from one of the main houses or from like Image Comics? Or
I don't think he's from a main house.
Oh, okay.
Because there was a whole thing way back, but I can't remember the specifics. I know Jason David Frank was involved. That's what I was interested in because Tommy Oliver Power Ranger. So
Yeah. So they might try to. So the thing that they're gonna do with Inhumans is they might make like Disney Plus shows. Which I don't know about anybody else, but I'm probably not gonna keep buying like all these subscriptions to streaming stuff.
You just gotta wait for Disney to buy Netflix.
Yeah. They're kind of. I wouldn't be surprised if they already did. They're kind of ruining stuff though because there are so many streaming services that you have to pay for now that it's like.
Because I think
what's the point?
Doesn't Disney own part of Hulu?
I think they might. Possibly. I'm not sure.
I'm just curious because I heard something about that. So.
Yeah, but it's just crazy though because you end up paying for all these streaming services, and the next thing you know, it's like might as well be paying for cable. Because cable, a lot of times when you have like digital cable and all that stuff, that you have on demand shit. It's not as good as streaming services, but it's still.
Well,
yeah. I guess you're still paying for convenience, but the streaming services are all gonna.
You're still paying less if you.
Yeah.
Have the streaming services,
and you can kind of cherry pick the things you want, I guess.
Yeah.
Like if you only watch NBC shows. Or whatever, but I don't know.
Well, for one, you if you have Netflix, that's good, but you don't have to pay for Hulu. You can just watch it for free, but you get all the fucking ads.
Yeah, I don't feel like doing that. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And then so he's a Valiant comment thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's YouTube with all the stuff that they have on there.
Yeah, because they have YouTube TV or something like that now.
Yeah. Even without YouTube TV, just being on there, you can just find people upload the stuff. So really, you don't have to spend that much money on it. Mm. But if you were to have something like Hulu and you're paying for that, no ads, which is what I'm doing because I'm a sucker. Instead of getting someone's password that I can just do that with.
Which is apparently illegal to do now, or some crap like that.
They always say it's illegal to do something like that, but
it's illegal to do now because they enacted something a couple years ago where it's like something about the exchange of some kind of files or whatever, this, that, and the third, and Hulu and Netflix technically falls under that because of how the streaming service works, or some shit, or what it classifies itself as. I don't fucking know, but it.
Then don't give the option to have multiple devices at once.
Exactly.
Because either way, you're going to be giving it to somebody who's either living in the same house as you, and it's a different thing. So you can't say that's a rule you can't enforce.
Yeah. Unless you're going to start like DCing people, just disconnecting people from their shit, and then you got a bunch of people who are upset and angry, and they leave. Netflix can't afford to do that because Netflix apparently is like Facebook, Twitter, and a bunch of these other things where it's like they're so big but they only kind of exist. Like, there's no money in it.
Mm-hmm.
They exist to fill the space so no one else fills that space. But other than that, like, Netflix doesn't make bank. They don't make money, really. They make enough money to pay for their shit and then ensure that nobody else can sit in this chair. Same thing with Facebook and Twitter.
That Netflix is finally getting Dragon Ball Z.
Is it Netflix?
Wait a minute. How are you saying Netflix doesn't have any money in it?
What do you mean? Like, it's one of these things where the amount of stuff that they're paying to get content is counteracting, like, the money that they get for through subscriptions and whatnot is almost equal to their operating costs, which means that, like, overall they're not making enough, like, extra money for it to be like, oh, this is profitable. They're making money to pay people, pay for the things they need to pay for it to exist, and then after that they're not really making too much money afterwards. So it's not like a company like, I don't know, what, the mattress store down the street or whatever, because the mattress store down the street makes enough money to pay its employees, pay its bills, and yet also turn a profit for, like, the whole company, or like some of these other companies do that, whereas Netflix is just kind of, that's why their freaking memberships and shit keep going up, because they're trying to get more and more content to bring shit in, but, like, they're spending as much money on new content as they're getting for having it, for people having subscriptions. And apparently Facebook is the same way. Facebook and Twitter are the same way, where they're literally just trying to occupy the space just so that nobody else does it. The second somebody else does it, and then they also do it better, and then they get bigger than Facebook, then Facebook goes under, and now everybody's on that new thing, and now that new thing is sitting there maintaining the spot. So they're literally just trying to keep other people from getting money.
But they're multi-billion-dollar things, so how I don't. This is why that's why I'm asking, because it's just, for one, they don't get taxed at all, so it's not like they don't have money.
Yeah,
leaving their pockets that way.
It's just not a lucrative thing. That's like
the only thing that they do, they pay one time for the actors to be in it. They don't pay anything else. Also have royalties or anything. They get one paycheck. That's it. Yeah. So all the money is still coming in just to them. So where is this?
Well, I mean, didn't they just spend like $5 billion to get Friends like a year ago or something like that?
Paying a buttload of money for things.
But that stuff gets right back to them. It's just like Bill Gates. I'm going to give you my entire bank account. Oh, I have it back within the next day.
Yeah, but it's not the same as Microsoft though. Because what Microsoft is giving you, when you think about what Microsoft makes and what Microsoft is giving you for how much they're getting back, it's not. They don't have to constantly spend a buttload of around the same amount of money that they're getting to give you the product. It's one of these weird ass things. It's one of those weird ass things where you're like an economics bullshit thing where they're like, it's not really gaming the system, but it's almost like how, remember I told you Warren Buffett?
They are gaming the system.
Well, yeah, but it's like, remember I told you Warren Buffett doesn't actually have money? Like, he doesn't actually have money. He, like, borrows money from people and then this, that, and third, blah, blah, blah. And then there's, like, a bunch of... But if you actually, like, tax... Like, that's why he doesn't pay taxes, because he doesn't technically have money. But people are willing to give him money because of where he is in the economic system and how he understands how all this shit works and blah, 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 this, that, and third. And also that just means that he's super good for it. So you have people breaking their necks to try to work with him and give him money. It's one of those kind of weird things like that. That's actually the same place that I learned about Warren Buffett was the same place I learned about those big ass businesses too. It's that dude who consistently loses money. Remember that guy I told you he became a millionaire multiple times and lost it multiple times? Clearly his understanding of the economic system is really good, except for when he's investing his money in stupid things, like paying Michael Jordan to play one-on-one with him for dumb reasons. And his 40, like, he brought like 10 friends there. So that's what, $300,000.
Well, then that's someone who gets the money and then spends it on stupid things, though.
Yeah, but in terms of making money, he understands how this economic shit works, which is why he hasn't gone broke since the last time. But like, what does that mean? Anyway.
Well, it's just the whole thing of someone who has nothing and then they get it and they don't know. So it's for the first time they have it, so they're just gonna spend. Which is why most poor people who wind up hitting the lotto wind up going broke again.
A couple years later
because they don't know how to hold on to it.
Yeah, that was literally him the very first time. I do remember he said the Michael Jordan thing. So he's spending millions, or he's spending like $300,000, close to $400,000. Yeah, and also what else? Oh, and just even getting there, he spent like $1 million on like a fucking jet to fly all his friends out there to even spend that $300,000. So, but he only had like $15 million, and he spent like all of it due to bad.
Number 2.
Due to bad investments and other shit.
I know that reminds me of Big Guy and Rusty with those robot things that are all named after, they're all numbers. He was like, you beat number 1, I am number 2. Your name means duty. Big Guy and Rusty.
You're like the only person on this side of the earth that remembers.
I remember the important stuff. Not my homework, but cartoons.
I do remember that from the Fox Box. What did you say about
Scrubs?
What about Scrubs?
JD. I number 1. He number 2.
Was that he found another JD or he found another John? I can't remember.
No, the guy's name was they call him JD.
Oh, so they call him JD too. Okay.
So he was like,
I couldn't remember if it was.
So we'll just call you number 1, and I'll be number 2.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was if they shared the same first name or if it was the same initial.
I think it was the initial.
Yeah, that was a good episode. I felt bad because he yelled at him. I was like, oh, Zach Braff in real life. Did he yell at like a group of kids or something like that around the time Chicken Little came out? And people were like, what the fuck?
I know he freaked out when he got punked because his car.
Funny. They fucked his car up.
Yeah. I know he freaked out for that.
Yeah, they had to have Donald Faison like calm him down. That was mad funny.
He had a TV show that came out. It was a few years back though when he was trying to. I think he was trying to start up a business, or he might have been trying to start up a podcast or something. Yeah.
Speaking of new TV shows, they're continuing Adventure Time apparently. So apparently they're continuing Adventure Time. It's going to be like Adventure Time Distant Lands or something like that. And then
Not Far From Home?
Far From Home, basically. And then they're also doing a spin-off with Princess Bubblegum and Marceline. Like they're getting like their
Marceline?
Yep, they're getting their own thing, I guess.
What about my girl LSP?
I don't know. I hope she's in both. I love that dude who created the show does her voice. It's fucking great. He's fucking hilarious. He knows just the right amount of N-wordishness to put in. Nah, yeah. And last thing is, I don't know if anybody needs money. Does anybody need money?
Who doesn't need money?
Would you like $129,000?
I'm not doing anything stupid.
Depends what you define as stupid.
Depends what you're talking about.
So there's a company that is looking for a person to, I don't know if it's one person or if they're looking for multiple people, but they're looking for a person to basically sell them the rights to their face.
Yeah,
no. So that they can use it for their line of friendly robots.
Hell no. Wait. I'm ugly enough. I'll do it. Yeah.
Wow, it's fucked up. $129,000. It's not bad.
I mean, as long as they're not taking my face off.
I don't know.
That's enough money to get my mom out of debt, and then for me to buy a car.
That's enough money to get my mom out of debt
and fix her a roof.
Company called
I would gladly do it.
Pay
for
her
my
house
mother.
off.
Geomic. Something like GEOMIQ.
Now is that like an anagram for some evil organization?
Nah,
now.
Now, see, that's the thing though. If you ever get famous, it's gonna fuck with you because they own the rights to your face. So any deals you make where you're like, if you become like a
face model,
mustache model, whatever, I don't fucking know. You become. This is the first thing I looked at when I looked at his face. You become some kind of model, and your face is in ads. They're getting part of your royalties for the ad.
Like my mustache.
Because they own your face.
I mean, as long as I'm still getting paid, I don't.
Well, see, that's why I won't do anything like that. I'll just become a porn star. They'll have nothing on the penis. Loopholes, motherfuckers.
Wow. That's fucked up.
They call him BBJ for a reason.
Alright.
Because I'm black, y'all. And I'm blacker than black because I'm black, y'all.
Oh, Astral Chain is good. It's funny. Apparently the thing is always trying to kill you. The thing that you're using to fight stuff. It hates you and it always is trying to kill you. It's funny.
There's another game that has not necessarily like a stand. You know how in Astral Chain how you don't really know because you haven't played it, but you know how it's like there's another one, but it's more like it pops out, fights you and pops back in closer to like how a stand would do. I think that one's called it's called Onaki. It's supposed to be for the PS4 and the Switch.
Isn't Oniki the name of the? Isn't that
or maybe I'm misremembering. I got to double check.
Onuki, that's his name. Isn't Onuki the name of the Tsuchikage? Is it Oniki or Onuki?
Tsuchikage. Is that the dude with the big nose?
Yeah.
Joe knows my beef with him.
Wait, why you got beef with Tsuchikage?
Joe knows.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
Hey, we're with baby.
Wait, what happened?
It's his Metroid.
Kicking him with the baby feet.
It's his Metroid. Like how I am for Metroid with him. It's.
Explain that for the people who are listening who are dumb and don't understand. also pointing at myself like I had no idea.
See, we told you this story too. No, because it's because of the Naruto fighting game. Outside of the only person who used to be able to catch him with when he was cheating with Itachi was Jiraiya.
Wow.
But when later got on into deeper into Shippuden and everything, didn't get Tsuchikage coming up for whatever reason. He was the only character I could use that would be able to beat Devon. And it wasn't like I was trash with anybody else, because I felt that I was trash with Tsuchikage.
You saying Devon was basically thugnificent? You're just mad because your ass is old. nigga.
Mother was a fool. Sister was a fool too. Mother fool. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking great. And with that, we're over. We're done. Alright, people. Take care. And watch our videos and stuff. Subscribe and like.
Please. And thank you.
No, don't say please. Just tell them fools to do it. Do it, fool. Do it. You won't.
Should.
How many subscribers you got?
Well,
25. I'm just saying that.
I just want to say.
Shout outs.
Fix the road
for the people who need it. To watch out for the people you hang around.
Nigga,
just
really?
don't. Well, no, because I have a friend who I pride myself on trying to be an example for people to just don't.
Are you talking about me?
No.
Watch who you let live in your house, because niggas will come in your fucking house and they eat your food and shit.
Drink all your Kool-Aid.
And they will sound like you talking about the people you used to live with on that one.
Yeah, I do. Yo, fuck Grateful Boston. Put on a shirt, nigga.
No, but I actually mean if you're only going to hang around people who are always mad or always upset, don't be shocked the fact that you're going to be a negative person at that. If you want to change anything in your life, you're trying not to be as unhappy or anything like that, look at the people you're around. You can't expect to be a positive person if you're only around people who say fuck the world and I'm upset 24/7.
Wait. You're talking about Steve.
That's me.
God bless you. But it's very much, birds of a feather flock together, and if you're an angry person, you're probably going to be around other angry people. And if you're complaining the fact that you're always sad or you're always angry, the first thing you need to look at is who do you associate with. If your entire friend base or family base is nothing but angry people, guess what? You need to change that, and that's going to be hard. It is a very.
Why you look at me?
That is the hardest thing. Well, you're the only one sitting down. I'm not going to be looking at dicks. I mean,
or you can tilt your head up.
That's a lot of work. And also because you kind of, disrespected me, thinking I was talking about you earlier.
It's fucked up though, because you keep looking at me. Listen, nigga, you fucking up. You need to change your ways. Look at Justin. I know what you're talking about. I surround myself with groupies.
I'm looking. Oh,
you mean right there? Because I'm not in that.
No, my friends are this guy, that dude, the art god, and a bunch of other people we know.
The Cardigan
King.
King.
Take a goddamn pop.
Art god.
Say no.
And the
well, no, because it kind of just got to me at the fact that I had a few people say that they look up to me, and for myself, I feel like I fail a lot, but that's because of how I deal with my family. That kind of lets me get in my head.
I mean, lots of people look up to you. You kind of tall as fuck.
It's kind of weird you say that because, like, I actually haven't had anybody say that they look up to me or anything like that. But it's like, how you said, like, you feel like you're a failure or whatever. It's like, I actually feel the same way. That I'm a failure in, like, a lot of aspects, which is kind of why, like, I'm the way I am. Most of the time, why I, like, isolate myself in my room a lot. Well, it's not just video games.
I thought it was because you just killing people in Destiny, traumatizing people in Dead.
Also, yes,
Daylight, all that stuff.
But my whole thing about how the way I've always approached failure is that it's gonna happen. It doesn't necessarily make you a failure. You learn from things. Keep it moving. Keep walking. That's my family name. You, the walkers. We always keep walking. As long as you're moving forward, as long as you're making some kind of progress.
See, you have a great last name like that, though. My last name is Sides.
Literally, my name means, like, I'm pretty sure my... Really?
Well, see, that's another great name, though, because that means you step aside and let the problems go past you, and you move forward.
See, I tried to, but then there's bitches like people that work in the hospital. He's like,
but see, like, hey girl, you sidestepped that one, and then she's on her own.
See, hey girl, what happens is try to sidestep and they springboard them.
Springboard, shit. Hey girl, let me get inside. You did?
Wait, what? That's painful.
Let me get in your insides. That is now Devon's new, like, wrestling entrance. This is Shadow Man, girl. Let me get in your insides. Sides.
Sued right there. Sexual harassment. Assault.
Excuse you. Yeah. I got a podcast.
Like, what happened? He looked
fun to listen to. It's good about that kind of stuff.
But no, that's why I was just trying to be
uplifting.
Yeah.
Which is very admirable. Thank you.
I don't want people to be upset.
That's why he's an admiral. Fucking what?
I mean, like,
you got promoted?
Like, actually, recently, after something happened, I actually, like, made a post on Facebook saying, because I actually do, like, live up to this, like, be there for your friends. Like, be there for the people that you know, or that you feel like would, like, need you. Like, just be there for them. Like, even if it doesn't have to be, like, immediately or whatever, just, like, whenever you get the time.
Yeah.
Just like Joe knows, and I know, like, because the same.
We want to Kelly pullback.
Huh? Can you not? Can you not? Can you not with that creepy ass story? But no, it is literally like the only story that ever had, like, child story, mind you, child scary story that actually, like, gave me, like, the creeps, like, made me, like afraid of the dark for that one thing only. Creepy little thing. Look for his damn tail, but
Wait, is that like Donald Glover with the fucking the community, the troll thing?
No, it's just like I'll tell you a little bit.
We'll fill you in later. But like I was gonna say, like Joe knows, and I know like this is the same thing with me. Is like Joe knows I'll always be there for him, no matter what, and he's always there for me. Like it's same thing like for any one of my friends. Like I will always be like if I can't be there, I will be there.
It's me and Carl. Come here.
No, almighty push.
You come over here, you little
Rotation.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Sure. I don't have abandonment issues or anything. Go ahead.
So yeah, that's Shadow's side. Just be there for your friends.
I'll be there.
You don't know what anybody. You don't know what they're like. People are actually like going through.
Yeah, let's look out for some red flags.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Motherfucker, you're on 22.
If we harmonize, we can be
I'm counting the red flags. I keep seeing over this motherfucker. He said that. He's like, oh, just killed me the other day. I'm like, 22.
That's not a flag.
If we start harmonizing, we can be quarter black.
Okay, we're done.
No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work.
That was like that My Hero fucking opening. I was waiting for the breakdown. All right, peace.
Peace.